Brady, Fox News. President Biden calling the pace of change accelerated as he commends Air Force Academy graduates, telling them they've made a noble choice.
They're the finest military in the history of the world, and you've earned it.
I can't turn these down anymore.
Hannah. Okay, here we are. I'm back to being the associate producer. Brad is back as the executive. Woo!
Ryan is gone.
Ryan?
Hannah, from what I heard, you did a great job.
Yes, she did.
Thank you. Glad our tech is figured out.
Yeah, we got all the things broken and fixed.
It's now June. May is in the past.
It's almost Christmas.
It's almost Christmas.
What's on the show?
All right, today's YouTube poll, we are wanting to know who is winning the culture war. Is it the left? Is it the right? Is it nobody? Or do you think it doesn't even exist? So vote on the YouTube poll. Leave us a comment. I will be reading them throughout the whole show, and I will give those results at 2:45. At 12:25, Hans is going to join us. If you don't know him, he is the senior legal fellow with the Heritage Foundation. He is the former FEC commissioner. Great record, great person. He always joins us on Thursdays. He will be with us at 12:25. I will be taking over Wiggins America today. I'm pretty excited. I'm going to be talking about senior pranks. It is the end of the school year. I've been reading some news stories about senior pranks. I've heard personal stories about senior pranks, and we're going to talk about all those fun/crazy things at 12:45. At 1:05, we hope to connect with Tyrus. He's the co-host of Tyrus and Tim, and he's also on Gutfeld all the time. So we hope to connect with him at 1:05. It's Thursday, so that means we're doing Annie, Are You Okay? At 2:25. Trisha is going to come into the studio, present some stories to us, and ask Annie if she is okay with certain topics that relate to the news stories. Those are always super fun, so that'll be at 2:25. And then at the end of the show, 2:45, I will give the poll results, and we'll go around the room and share what we think about the poll as well. If you missed the poll, it is asking who is winning the culture war, the left, the right, nobody, or do you think that the culture war doesn't even exist? So
Sheepdog says you're doing a great job.
Thank you, Sheepdog. Getting used to the pre-show now. So yeah, excited for the show, excited to go back to a little bit of normalcy.
A little bit.
So Monday will be the first day we're all back on the show together since last Wednesday.
Yes.
It'll be a week and a half.
Week and a half. Also excited for that.
Sorry, guys.
I know.
Thank you.
I know. All right.
Vote the poll.
Yes.
It's 68 for the low. Let's do it again on Friday. Partly sunny skies with a couple of scattered thunderstorms, though not for everybody. Temperatures Friday afternoon, 89 degrees. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
This is a message for all St. Louis Metro homeowners. If you want to sell your house, but only the thought of it gives you a headache, Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis has great news for you. Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis can help you avoid any headache and will buy your house for cash in as-is condition, and you won't even have to do any repairs, cleaning, or paying any fees. Just call 314-782-8000 for a fast and easy solution and sell your house today. Chris buys all kinds of houses, inherited houses, vacant houses, fixer-uppers, and also beautiful houses. All you need to do is call Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis at 314-782-8000 and let Chris take care of everything for you. Call Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis, 314-782-8000 and get the peace of mind you deserve.
Stewie's waiting for your phone call or even your text. I asked him for permission. I said, can the Annie Frey Show folks who are interested in getting a bagel loan mortgage, can they text you? Because I'm a texter. I'm much more likely to make a contact if I can text. And he said, sure. 314-324-4440. Stewie is the bagel loan genius. And getting a mortgage for a home that you're looking to buy, it's a very important part. But man, when you think about the loans that you're taking out for this, that, and the other thing, that mortgage is probably going to be 30 years. If you're lucky, maybe a little bit shorter. But the interest it builds and builds and builds. If you've ever looked at the breakdown of how much interest you pay over the course of time, yeah, it definitely is front loaded. Go to Stewie and save money right off the bat with a bagel loan. You're not going to pay any of those closing costs that every other lender out there is going to charge you for. He's going to make sure that you are taken care of from the jump, and he's going to be able to get you the best rate that's out there. No closing costs. You're going to get that house that you've been dreaming about getting. Call or text 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
Diamonds Direct takes our most popular offer ever up to the next level. Now, for a limited time, you can make any purchase and take advantage of special financing for up to 5 years, or get $5,000 off. Get the lowest possible monthly payment, or get a generous cash credit. It's all about giving you more. Design the ring of your dreams with our most flexible finance options and best savings ever offered. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get details and more at diamondsdirect.com. On approved credit.
There are over 10,000 reasons why steel is not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot. Find tools for the job site or your own backyard at over 10,000 authorized local steel dealers. Find yours at steelusa.com. Lowe's and the Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
I'm Eric Robert with Stifel. The economy is always changing, but what does it mean for your investments? Join me and fellow Stifel financial advisor Bob Stockdale during On the Money, Saturday mornings from 11 until noon on 97.1 FM Talk. Stifel, member NYSE and SIPC.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
The essence of a lot of comedy is a revealed truth, like a hidden truth that people understand intuitively or explicitly, and there's that sort of moment of revealed, kernel of truth of often unacknowledged truth, and in that unacknowledged truth is the humor. If you're premised on a lie, you can no longer be funny because there's no revealed truth, and this is why a lot of people on the left have no sense of humor. They're not funny, and if there are so many no-fly zones, that you have to avoid all the time, then there's nothing left to have fun about,
Yeah. So Elon Musk, essentially they're saying that the left doesn't have a sense of humor. And I got to say that the political left, the activists in the big Democrat Party, the big D party, as I referred to them once before, they don't seem to think that many things are funny. If you watch a comedy special and you have entered into listening to what the set's going to be, you have to be able to make fun of anything. And Brad, who's back in the studio with us. Hi. Welcome back.
Hello. Thank you for having me back.
As much as you have to be able to you have to have the freedom to make fun of anyone, even more so, don't you have to be willing to laugh at yourself?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, like the hardest times I laugh is whenever I do something goofy.
Right.
Like, I can't believe I did that. And that's the best way to do it.
It's our favorite thing on the show when you do things goofy too.
I'm sure.
I can think of Jamie Lissau's. That's the one that we all went together, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we laughed so hard at that. And there were several times on our Disney trip, I think we were just so tired that we were all in tears, just laughing and laughing. And that has to do with the ability to make fun of yourself because you don't take yourself so seriously. Who takes themselves more seriously than the activist progressive left? I can't think of an entity that takes themselves more seriously than that. And it's not fun to be around people who are 100% super serious all the time. I think Elon Musk has a point there. Here's an interesting thing, though, because I hear Elon Musk talking about absolute truth. Did you see, Brad, the Jeremy Boring, who's the CEO of Daily Wire? Did you see the tweets he put out about Twitter?
No, I have missed this.
So there's a 16 tweet chain. I don't know that I'm going to, maybe I will read through the whole thing. I find this to be very interesting. Yesterday, we had Chadwick Moore on the show, who wrote the book Tucker, and it's coming out in mid-July. And it's about Tucker's life. And it was written, I think he said he finished the book in March, which is before Tucker Carlson was let go from Fox News. And as he articulated yesterday, Tucker is still employed by Fox News, and he's still serving under that non-compete that they have. But he talked about how Tucker's life led him up to be this wildly successful TV personality, but then also was writing this book about him and what happens next after Tucker gets let go. That's part of this book as well. And what happens next for Tucker is, as Tucker put out on his own Twitter account, he's taking his show to Twitter. And it turns out what we heard from Chadwick Moore yesterday, that of all of the things that are included in Tucker's contract, it looks as though Twitter is not excluded in places that he could potentially take a show. So where's Tucker going to go? He's going to go where he can go if his lawyers can sort that out. I cannot think of another person on television outside of Tucker Carlson who was more willing to say what nobody else would say. Can you challenge me on that?
I'm trying to think. Somebody that on television is the key here.
Where do you go? I mean, there are people. I would think the rest of the Fox shows, generally speaking, are doing a lot of political analysis. It's much more politics heavy. Culture wise, Tucker Carlson was
he was
a bellwether.
Yeah. The closest maybe I can come is Bill Maher.
Yeah, I would say that. That's probably a fair comparison. HBO has been super progressive in the say whatever you want, do whatever you want. I look at Tucker Carlson going to Twitter and I think, okay, Elon Musk gets really triggered initially by the idea that it was the Babylon Bee tweeted out a story that was criticizing the Woman of the Year. I think it was the Woman of the Year was a transgender woman, and they said that woman was a man. Twitter banned them.
Right.
And said, you have to take this tweet down to come back. And they said, we're not taking the tweet down. That's the truth. And so they weren't allowed to come back on. And then you see Elon Musk on, doing video podcasts with the Babylon Bee, and this relationship starts. And then someone tweets at Elon Musk, how much does Twitter cost? And he's like, that's a good question. Now he's well, I guess he's still the CEO for the moment, but he now owns Twitter.
Right.
So all of this happening, Tucker going to Twitter, there's just a kind of steady stream and a steady flow of reinforcement that Twitter is going to be the free speech platform. You're going to be able to say things on Twitter that people are not going to like, that you were convicted on. You are going to be able to say these things on Twitter. Jeremy Boring, who's the CEO of the Daily Wire, said Twitter canceled a deal with the Daily Wire to premiere What is a Woman for free on the platform because of 2 instances of misgendering. He says, I'm not kidding. Here's what happened. 1 year ago today, we released What is a Woman? To celebrate the occasion and expand the movie's already enormous impact, we decided to give it away for free for 24 hours on Twitter. With Twitter's recent commitments to free speech, we thought it would be the perfect place to distribute the film and drive the conversation forward on one of the most important topics of our day. Twitter responded with enthusiasm, offered us the opportunity to buy a package to host the movie on a dedicated event page, and to promote the event to every Twitter user over the first 10 hours. I'm interjecting here to say, this is a really interesting utilization of Twitter. This is expanding Twitter's old 140 characters. Just say the snarkiest thing you can with the most brevity, and that's a good tweet. This is interesting because if Elon Musk wants to expand the value of Twitter, he's going to have to expand the usage of Twitter. Jeremy Boring, CEO of Daily Wire, says we accepted and signed the agreement after we signed. Twitter asked to see the film to better understand what parts may, quote, trigger users so they could better prepare their response. They said they were still all hands on deck for launch, so we sent them a screener. After reviewing the film, though, Twitter let us know that not only could we no longer purchase the package they offered, they would no longer provide us any support and would actually limit the reach of the film and label it as, quote, hateful conduct because of, quote, misgendering. Specifically, in the film, a father refers to his 14-year-old daughter as her and a store owner uses the quote wrong pronoun in a confrontation with a trans person. We reminded Twitter they removed, quote, misgendering from their policy, that the term misgendering itself is misleading, and that enforcing such a policy places them on the side of the most radical elements in society, the side most opposed to their commitment to free speech. Twitter clarified they only removed misgendering as a word from their policy because they didn't need to be that specific, but that they still consider misgendering abuse and harassment. They gave us the opportunity to edit the film to comply. Imagine that. Like, what kind of power is that? Jeremy Boring says, we declined. He goes on to say, when we asked how much they would limit the visibility if we posted the film anyway, Twitter replied that our own followers would not be able to see it in their feeds. This, they said, is part of their speech, not reach policy. Of course, saying, quote, you have the right to speak, but we'll make sure no one hears you is a bit like saying you have the right to cast a vote, but we'll make sure it isn't counted. That's not right at all, according to Jeremy Boring. Jeremy says, we brought all our shows to Twitter Tuesday because we believed Twitter was committed to free speech, especially on this issue. After all, the Babylon Bee was silenced on Twitter over this very issue, and that in part prompted Elon Musk to purchase the platform. The other tech platforms have already decided where they stand on the trans debate and demonetize and deprioritize all those who disagree. Now Twitter has joined the ranks of the other tech superpowers in ensuring one side of the debate is suppressed. Elon Musk is not beholden to conservatives. He has the right to run his business as he sees fit. But if Twitter is going to throttle one side of one of the most important debates facing society, it cannot claim to be the champion of free speech. I hope Elon Musk will consider this awful policy. If we can debate these issues on Twitter, if we can't debate these issues on Twitter, where can we debate them? If conservatives aren't welcome on Twitter, where are they welcome? It's unlikely another centibillionaire will come along to offer an alternative. We plan to post the movie anyway tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. Will Twitter make good on their threat to throttle it and label it hateful conduct? Or will Twitter live up to its great promise? We'll all find out together. I got to say, I'm pretty disappointed in Twitter for whatever happened to the idea of letting the town square or the public square do what it does to people who say things that are not publicly approved en masse. Do we not have the need in our culture and in our society today to be able to say unpopular things so that they can be challenged and defended? If you can't say unpopular things in a space where they can be challenged, then the people who are challenging it never have to defend their position. And if they don't have to defend their position, what might be born out of an honest perspective, a reasonable conclusion, expands rapidly without any sort of requirement to be able to defend that point at any given time. And I feel like this is one of those issues that should be decided by people, not by platforms, not by corporations. It should be decided by people. It's that big of an issue. I was really surprised by this, and I'm interested to see. This was all tweeted 4 hours ago, so I'm going to keep my eye on it because maybe something will develop. But they're going to put this out there at 7 p.m. tonight. I've never watched What Is a Woman.
I haven't seen it either. It's been one of the movies that I want to watch.
Yeah.
Man, it's such a large scale. Like, my initial reaction is, well, maybe this is somebody at Twitter who is a holdover or something like that they're just going to try to do whatever they're going to try to do. But with the Daily Wire and the Daily Wire now having brought their, shows over to the Twitter platform, I don't see how this escapes.
What is a
Elon.
woman? He says here in the beginning, they're acknowledging the year anniversary of this film. There's no way Elon Musk doesn't know what is a woman is. This isn't new information.
I'm just trying to figure out, like, did this decision process never go across his desk, or was he part of it? I mean, it's so big, and it's such, like, Daily Wire is a big organization. Like, maybe not the biggest, but they are a big organization, especially
of what they are, though. I would say they are the biggest.
And they're like So how does this not make it to Elon's desk? And why would he sign off on this why would he not allow them to put this on his
Has Elon
platform?
Musk publicly spoken on the gender binary?
He has, I think he's called it a woke mind virus.
Well, and the idea that he defended the Babylon Bee for this particular issue makes me think that regardless of where he is on the conversation as a whole, how could he? I just feel like there's more here that needs to be discussed. And I think that it's good that Twitter is being challenged in this way.
And I wonder too, so Elon Musk needs to make money off of Twitter. It's not just like he needs to be able to sell advertisements and stuff like that. And the more that I'm seeing coming out with DEI and what are these other organizations out there that are giving companies scores on their equality index or whatever it is advertising on Twitter going to hurt that for these companies? And then these companies in turn are putting pressure on Twitter and on Elon Musk to not allow this stuff on his platform so that they will then advertise on it.
Well, it brings me to the YouTube live chat poll for today, and I really hope that we get a really good amount of feedback. Of course, I want your vote on the poll. If you go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel in the live chat portion, there's a poll right there at the top. You can do that on your phone, on the YouTube app on your phone, on your desktop, or you can watch the Annie Frey YouTube channel on your smart TV. That's fun. The poll is, who is winning the culture war? You've got 4 options. Who's winning the culture war? The left, the right, nobody, or it doesn't even exist, because there are a lot of people who think that it's a complete and total fabrication. I'd love to know what you think about this. So leave your comments. Hannah is watching the comments roll in. Brad's back in the studio with us. Ryan is now taking a nice little couple-day break. He'll be back Monday. We'll all be together Monday again. But you're here with us today, and that's what's most important. Go vote in YouTube live chat poll. Hans von Spakovsky on the Annie Frey Show when we come back.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
You can go your own way.
Air Comfort Service, easy to find right there on the website, aircomfortservice.com. I need you to know about the amazing deals that they have right now until the end of June, up to $1,550 in carrier cool cash rebates for you to save on qualifying systems. If your air conditioner is not working and it's not cooling your house the way it's supposed to, when we had to replace our air conditioner, what happened was we realized the air conditioner was running and running and running and running. And you go up to the register and you're like, this is not cool air. And then imagine all the energy we were wasting with energy prices being so high. We called Air Comfort Service. They came out to our home, assessed the situation. They gave us an option to fix it. And it was like, you could pay this much to fix it and no guarantee it's going to fix it long term. You can replace it for that much. And my husband and I talked with with each other, made the decision to replace it. The thing was 20 years old. It was probably time. If you need a new HVAC system in your house, Air Comfort Service is going to treat you right. They're going to make sure they take care of you the whole way. Reach out to them. Tell them Annie Frey Show sent you and get the process started today. 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091. AirComfortService.com.
Hello, I am your Missouri State Treasurer, Vivek Malik. As State Treasurer, I am the custodian of unclaimed property like military medals that came from safe deposit boxes. If you or a loved one served in the United States Armed Forces, we may be able to help you recover lost medals. It is our patriotic duty to return lost medals to veterans and their relatives. For more information, go to showmemoney.com.
Sponsored by the Missouri State Treasurer's Office.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
Group. Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw, Tom's nephew. As a family business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. What if it were possible to protect you from market downturns without having to make an emotional decision to buy or sell? What if you could take advantage of a strategy that would automatically take you out of harm's way during the bad years and position you for the growth opportunity during the good years?
The secret is in linking safely to the market without putting your principal at risk. By linking to the market instead of owning the market, you can participate safely on autopilot and lock in your gains without creating a taxable event. Go online at retirementkey.com for a no-obligation retirement review. Learn the strategies that have helped our clients retire with confidence for the past 36 years. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. So go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
At Underlaw, we take on the establishment and challenge corporations to be better for the safety of our community.
Call Onderlaw Personal Injury Lawyers at 314 or 618-9 million.
Tune into the Del Walmsley Radio Show. Del, self-made millionaire and founder of Lifestyles Unlimited, will show you how to live the life of your dreams and pay for it with passive income.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
For details and a list of all station contest rules, visit www.971talk.com/rules.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for the Honor Flight today at gsl.honorflight.org. And for heating services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
If you're as thankful to your first responders as we are, then nominate a local department and let us feed them a great meal. Compliments of Grill Master Tony Stone. Mark Cox here. Visit 971talk.com/contests. Help us feed our first responders. You can nominate someone today.
If you ever change your mind about leaving,
if this reporting is true, and I'm trying not to use hyperbole, this is game over. There's no way that he will not be charged. One, it's a tape recording. Even though the reporting is there are also witnesses, so there could be tape recording with witnesses. It involves not just possession of classified information, but dissemination of classified information. That puts it into a completely different ballpark when you're at the Department of Justice examining the seriousness of the violation and whether to bring charges. It also is a separate crime to disseminate versus just possess.
We the people of the United States,
More perfect.
your form of our perfect union.
Heritage legal expert Hans von Spakovsky.
So we just listened together there to the former Mueller prosecutor, Andrew Weissman. Is that how you say that? Talking about how President Trump's possession of classified documents is, in his words, game over. What is he talking about? Hans von Spakovsky back with us to talk about this issue. Hans, welcome back to the show. There's never a shortage of very dramatic things to discuss with you.
Well, first of all, you can't trust anything Andrew Weissman says. I mean, he is known as an extremely biased former lawyer at the Justice Department. In fact, I think he was at Hillary Clinton's, what they hope to be her victory party back in 2016 in New York. And there have been all kinds of ethics claims made against him for, frankly, his abusive behavior when he was a prosecutor. His game over, saying that just the possession of classified material, why that means that President Trump will be charged. Well, what about Joe Biden? They have found all kinds of classified information, but he doesn't seem to have any focus on him whatsoever.
Yeah.
So keep in mind something Weissman doesn't mention, that President Trump has asserted from the very beginning that he declassified these documents before he left the White House. President is the ultimate authority under our laws and our Constitution on declassification. He can declassify any document. No one can question that. Contrast that with Joe Biden, who had all these classified documents in his home from when he was a U.S. Senator and had no authority whatsoever to declassify any documents.
It's so important to hear these sensationalized comments from people who seem to have a whole lot to gain should Donald Trump be locked up in an orange jumpsuit. How many times have we heard, if this is to be true? I mean, good grief, Adam Schiff. How many times have we heard from these people who have skin in the game on the demise of Donald Trump? They articulate a situation. They talk about a set of circumstances that, should they become the reality, Donald Trump is done for. We have literally been hearing about this since before Donald Trump ever became the president.
No, that's true. And I just can't emphasize how much you cannot trust Andrew Weissman or anything he says, particularly because, remember, they took, more than 2 years to figure out that the whole Russia-Trump allegations were a hoax, whereas I think, quite frankly, they could have figured that out within a couple of months, given how the FBI, as the John Durham report has showed, had no evidence whatsoever to support any of the allegations, and yet they dragged on this investigation for years. And I think, frankly, that was probably a deliberate strategy on Weissman's part.
Hans von Spakovsky with us. He's a senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation, a DOJ lawyer. I look at all of these stories that just mount one on top of the other, and we've even seen in the Durham process where he charged people with things, but it gets tried in Washington, D.C., and everybody knows the conclusion of that before the gavel is even rattled the first time, how those things are going to take place. We know that Donald Trump has been charged in Manhattan, and everyone says, well, we know how this is going to go in Manhattan. Over and over and over again, it seems as though the justice system is tilted in one direction against the other, which means when I hear these indictments, and we can't trust Andrew Weissman, I still don't necessarily trust the system enough to iron out the wrinkles here and get the story straight.
Well, look, I understand why you feel that way, because, for example, the case filed in New York City by Bragg is complete and total nonsense. It is a bogus charge, and even prosecutors, even experts on the left side of the political aisle have said that this is an abusive prosecution, and Bragg is just going after Trump because it's a political goal to get it.
So let's shift away from Trump here a little bit. Like, if you're paying attention to all of these sensational stories that are boiling up, indictments surrounding President Trump, I do think it's equally important to pay attention to the deafening silence over on the Joe Biden side of things. Listen to this question for John Kirby at a press briefing.
I'll ask you the international polling question. There have been many developments in the House investigations into the First Family's international business dealings recently. There's one committee trying to get an FBI file alleging that President Biden took bribes. There's another IRS whistleblower who's alleging there's a cover-up in the investigation. In the middle of this, there was a Harvard-Harris poll this month that found that 53% of the public, including a fourth of Democrats, believe, quote, Joe Biden was involved with his son in an illegal influence peddling scheme. There's, of course, evidence that the president interacted with his relatives, associates from China, Mexico, Kazakhstan, Russia, and Ukraine. So what do you say to the majority of Americans who believe that the president is himself corrupt?
Wow. Can I take that question? The president spoken to this.
So John Kirby there taking a second to try to be like, I don't know. But the question from the reporter is, a majority of Americans feel as though the president is corrupt. Hans, do you feel like the president is corrupt based on the evidence that you've seen so far?
Well, what I would say about that is that when the spokesman said, "Oh, the president has dealt with that's a lie. He hasn't dealt with any of this, and in fact, it makes you wonder why is he being silent over all this instead of coming out and strenuously denying all of this. He hasn't done that, and in fact, they haven't dealt at all with the latest controversy, which, as you know, is that Senator Chuck Grassley and Representative James Comer of the Oversight Committee had subpoenaed Chris Wray of the FBI to get hold of an internal FBI document. They call it an FD 1023, and that's where an FBI agent summarizes information that they've gotten from a source, and they've actually read it. They can't get the FBI to provide the document, but Grassley's actually read it, and they say it describes an alleged criminal scheme involving Vice President Biden and a foreign national relating to the exchange of money for policy decisions, $5 million. I haven't heard the White House say a word about that. Have you?
No, of course not. And probably the worst thing they could do is lend credence to it to comment on it, which is why they're able to sidestep these stories so much. And we've seen payments coming in from foreign countries into the Biden family through various means where there isn't really a skill or a service that is evident that would require the payments of these kinds. There are so many questions surrounding Hunter Biden from what we know from his verified laptop and the family members. And also, when you add in these type of FBI documents, it does pull in the president of the United States. It seems to me to be exactly what we were hearing people accuse Donald Trump of, Russia collusion. Maybe it's not Russia. Maybe it's Russia plus other places. But I guess the idea here is that there's a question surrounding whether or not the president has colluded with other countries to enrich himself and his family.
Right. And what have we had in this investigation we didn't have in the Trump investigation? You didn't have any allegations in the Trump investigation from the IRS or the FBI, from whistleblowers saying, oh, they're refusing to investigate. In fact, they went the other way. They investigated when they actually had no evidence to support the claims being made. Here, we have senior IRS agents, we have FBI whistleblowers, not one, multiple ones, saying that the Hunter Biden investigation, the investigation of the Biden family, has been suppressed, that political appointees and others have tried to delay it and keep it from happening. And the press, the mainstream press, just doesn't seem interested in that at all.
Yeah, one of the potentially most juicy stories to ever hit American politics.
Right.
It's just crickets. It's pretty unbelievable. Hans, we appreciate you, and we look forward to following up on this story with you as it continues to develop or not develop. We'll cover both of the angles of it in the coming weeks. We always appreciate talking to you here.
Right. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation, former FEC commissioner and DOJ lawyer, Hans von Spakovsky, also author of the book, Our Broken Elections, How the Left Changed the Way You Vote. Highly recommend that read in the summer next to the pool. Some light reading about your broken election system by Hans von Spakovsky. We're going to take a quick break. Wiggins America takeover by Hannah. She's going to come in here and fill in those shoes and talk to us a little bit about senior pranks. Have you guys ever done senior pranks? Have you ever participated in a senior prank? We've talked about this a little bit on the show before, but Hannah's going to cover it wall to wall on Wiggins America here on the Annie Frey Show when we return.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
314-961-4300. That's what you're going to call if you want to reach out to the Closet Factory and have them come work their magic in your home, in your garage, in your basement, maybe even at your church. I know that I've looked at different places in my home and thought to myself, how can I make a better use of this space? The Closet Factory has come in and done that for us in our closets, upstairs in our bedrooms, and also now in what was built to be a formal dining room, but the Frey family doesn't do a whole lot of formal dining inside the house. So we turned that into a room for the kids to do their homework, a room that we can use vertical space for storage, a little overflow from the kitchen. And I love it. They measured, they created, they came up with a specific solution for our home. And when they come to your house to rework that extra bedroom that nobody is sleeping in anymore, and you've got the use for the extra space, you want to get the exercise room going or the music room going, you want to make sure that you can utilize the square footage in your space, in your home for your needs. The Closet Factory comes in and gives you that customized storage solution that you've been looking for. 314-961-4300, online at closetfactory.com.
Did you know the IRS is a super creditor? Hi, I'm Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. The IRS is the only creditor that can create a bill for you without your permission, then drop the hammer and aggressively collect it by wiping out your bank account, seizing your assets, and levying your wages. No other creditor can do that, and this can all happen without a court approval. If you owe back taxes, you need to be prepared to face the super creditor. Don't just sit back and take it. Fight back. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, we know how to use the laws to your advantage and go toe-to-toe with the IRS. Our office is located right here in St. Louis. Contact the Lance Drury Law Firm today for a free consultation with me, or visit us at lancedrurylaw.com or call 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120 to get started.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
I can't wait for what's next, even with higher stroke risk due to atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Eliquis, the Pixaban tablets, reduces stroke risk. It's the #1 cardiologist-prescribed blood thinner.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or have antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising, or if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take medicines such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Mark Reardon sees clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Maholtred Ophthalmology Associates. You can too. Go to youridoc.com today. That's youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000. Ophthalmology Associates.
The Med Spa at the Institute of Natural Health understands how difficult it is to maintain healthy skin and how much this can affect someone's life. With the right combination of treatments and products, they can help you keep your skin looking healthy and more youthful, while also reducing and preventing damage. Take your first step towards healthy skin at the Med Spa at the Institute of Natural Health. Visit them at inhstl.com or call to schedule at 314-293-8123. That's 314-293-8123.
Who is winning the culture war? The left, the right, nobody, or it doesn't exist? That's what we're asking you on today's Annie Frey Show YouTube poll. The time is 12:43. This update is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Critical thinking in critical times. This is St. Louis's home for conservative talk. 97.1 FM Talk. Everyone is welcome. This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. I feel like the culture war is on. It's getting white hot. I probably shouldn't say that. It's getting multicolored hot.
Careful.
All the colors of all of the rainbows and even the other colors that aren't in the rainbow is happening with the fire in the white hot multicolor. Who's winning the culture war? That's today's YouTube live chat poll question. Is it the left? Is it the right? Is it nobody? Or maybe it doesn't exist. There are real people who think that the culture war completely doesn't exist.
We already got a comment saying that today.
Yeah. Do I know who said it?
Take a guess.
Yeah.
You know.
What's your position on this? We'll just go with yours and then we'll get to
who's winning. I don't think anybody's winning yet.
Nobody?
Nobody's winning.
Okay.
I think. I honestly, I think one side has just started to fight.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we'll talk about it more as we go through. You've got some comments coming in already, Hannah?
Yep.
All
Good
right.
amount of comments coming in, but I still want more.
I want to discuss it at 1:25, so we will get into it a little bit more right after we talk with Tyrus in the 1 o'clock hour. But now it's time for Wiggins America.
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins!
All right. It is the end of school season and senior pranks are rising. I'm hearing about them in my personal life and I'm reading news stories about them. So this one is from an Odyssey station, KLUV. It says seniors prank principal by sneaking into her house and having a sleepover.
Seniors?
Seniors. Yep.
Man.
So that was their senior prank. They
What
went.
town is this in?
This is in
What state?
Delaware. St. Andrew's School in Delaware.
What kind of gun rules do they have there? I mean, you coming into my house. I'm just saying. I'm prepared to defend the homestead.
It's Delaware.
Yeah. Well, and this news article frames it as this senior prank is more lighthearted and, not a bad one. But I think that is pretty extreme and pretty crazy.
It's lighthearted. We just broke into your house.
Does it
It's
say
no
what
big
kind
deal.
of school it is? I mean, I went to a Lutheran
It
high school that I
says-
graduated 47 people.
It is a small class. It has 70 students in the class. So it's not huge.
You could, this is something that could have happened in my mind in the 90s and maybe the aughts, but I feel like now there's just so many lawsuits that are waiting to happen.
It says Joy McGrath couldn't believe what she was seeing at first. As she slammed the kitchen door immediately after opening it, her house was filled with all of her seniors.
That's funny.
Small class, about 70 students, but the video, there is a video and she's in her robe and she walks in and she just slammed it right away. I guess she got scared.
Yeah.
And then naturally, yes. And then she opened it back up and was super happy and just loved it. But I was thinking,
you're wearing, I mean, there's a lot of people who sleep in a t-shirt and underwear or
that's
something
what
like
I
that.
thought. I'm like,
You run out in your granny panties and your most worn, most loved t-shirt.
yes.
Hi, kids. And then their parents sue you for exposure.
Yes, that was the first thing I thought of was good thing she had a robe on and hopefully something under it, or else that would have been really bad. But as the article goes on, they didn't break in because the husband unlocked the door for them. So the students came in around 4 a.m.
Worked it with the husband. Stayed the night, and that was their senior If
prank.
she walks out in her t-shirt and underwear and the husband was behind it, that's the end of the marriage.
Yeah, for sure. That would be horrible.
That would be so bad.
Did you guys have senior pranks?
I did not.
You did not?
I did not. If we did, I didn't participate in any.
I've told this story recently on the air a couple times, and it's one of my favorites. We were the Knights, and we have this knight in our lobby, and it's the full size, looks like it is a metal knight statue, and there were, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 of the people in the class who stole the knight and went and took pictures of it all over the place. And I remember they put it in the Arby's drive-through. So there was a picture of the knight just standing at the drive-through because one of our classmates worked at Arby's and took a photo of it there, took a photo of it at the park going down the slide, and all of these different things. Took photos of the knight on the front porches of teachers and the principal, at their house. And the one that they did that was the best was they drove it to the Illinois-Indiana state line and took a picture of it in front of the Welcome to Indiana.
That's insane.
I was always like, is it an extra felony if you transport the thing across state lines? I didn't know. But then, so they took photos of all of this. And then when we graduated and you went across the stage and you got your diploma from the principal or whomever it was, or maybe you just shook the hand of the principal, we took all of us got a photo. And as we went to shake his hand, we gave him a photo of the knight.
That is so fun.
And he put them all in a photo album. And then when he went to all the graduation parties, he brought the photo album everywhere he went.
Your principal went to your graduation parties?
Yeah, he was great. He
Small
passed
school stuff.
he passed
that didn't
away
happen to me.
maybe 10, gosh, 10, 15 years ago. But he was a wonderful man and had a great sense of humor. Just like it seems like this principal
Yeah,
did.
that's awesome.
I highly, highly, highly recommend Lutheran schools.
I did not have a senior prank. My senior year got cut. It ended abruptly. So
Yeah,
maybe
Hannah's
our senior prank was that we just never showed up back to school.
Hannah's a COVID senior.
I am a COVID senior, high school COVID senior. So we didn't have a senior prank, but we did do this thing, junior senior wars in high school, homecoming week. Those were not as funny and lighthearted. Those were a little more harsh and crazy. I think it was everybody in high school just trying to be rebellious. And I think the funnest part was like sneaking away at night from home. That was like the fun part. But we would like TP and stuff like that. My house got hit really bad junior year. And at the time, me and my sister both had red cars. Well, I parked mine down the street because I didn't want anything to happen to it. But my sister had her car in the driveway and they thought her car was my car. So they did stuff to her car and that was not good.
That's
that
across
was
the
not
line.
good. Yeah.
Says the car guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, says the
Don't
car
mess with
guy.
somebody's car.
And other classes ahead of me and behind me have got really in a lot of trouble with the junior senior wars. Somebody put syrup on another person's garage and like the garage pad code and it like broke their garage door. So
I had maple syrup sprayed on my house one time.
yeah, that wasn't good. I had like weird stuff like ketchup and mustard all over the lawn. Like that's so random. But the TPing, that was crazy. They put a lot of money into paying for toilet paper to TP my house and they did a dang good job. And I
am a proficient TPer.
Really?
Very good at it.
You would be good.
You would.
My econ teacher lived right next to me. And when I went into class the next day, he's like, dang, they hit you good. I was like, did you help with this? That's crazy. So yeah, the junior senior wars in my school did get a little crazy. I'm a little bit more with the lighthearted senior pranks. I was listening to our sister station earlier this week and they were talking about senior pranks. In one school at like their high school pool, they clogged the
toilets with
something.
cement.
Yeah, they clogged something, but this was with a pool and it flooded the school.
There was a school where they dumped cement into toilets.
That is just awful. That is not funny.
Yeah,
that's not even
not
a prank.
No.
That is not.
That's called vandalism.
Yeah, that's
That is a crime.
really bad. That's really, really bad. So yeah, end of school season. I've been seeing a ton about senior pranks. So I thought that would be fun to present. What do you think, Wiggins? Do you think he had a senior prank way back when?
We've talked about this. I know he said that he did like Irish dancing.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's like Michael Flatley. Do you think he's listening right now? Because like his mom came up when
he doesn't listen to the show when he's on the show.
This is true.
So
I'll go
good
ahead and say this
point.
on the air. His mom, that we talked a while back whenever I went to his son's soccer game, and he said his mom pulled me aside. He's like, "What were they talking about?" And I was like, "I'm not going to tell you." She has a DVD of him dancing as Michael Flatley. She's just trying to figure out a way to get that to me.
What do you mean? What's the struggle?
I don't know. I'm like, yeah, just
go to her house
just
and
give
get
to-
it.
I don't know where her house
You need
is.
that She's listening right now.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll come to you.
Yeah, we'll come to you and we'll get it. We'll convert that into digital and
We'll
put that
finally
on
make
the
Ryan Wiggins
on
famous.
the internet.
Yeah, just then. I love that. Yep.
Is that it?
That's all I got. I had one story about senior pranks. I thought that was crazy. I didn't know if you guys would think that was funny or not, that these kids stayed the night at their principal's house.
At O'Fallon, they camped out on the superintendent's yard one year, but they didn't actually go into the house. They just kind of showed up and put up their tents and whatnot. And
We talked about this, but the Triad School District, the seniors hired a mariachi band to follow the principal around for a day.
I love that.
That's funny.
I love that.
That's good.
The videos that came out of it were pretty great. We got Tyrus in the next hour, and we're going to talk to him about, maybe we'll ask him if he ever involved himself in any senior pranks. We can see what he has to say about it. But I also want to talk more about the YouTube live chat poll today. Who is winning the culture war? Your options for today on the Annie Frey YouTube channel are the left, the right, nobody, or it doesn't exist. And I think that this has a lot to do with the DEI that is being implemented everywhere. Listen to Ron DeSantis on this topic.
We're the first state in the country to eliminate so-called DEI from our public universities. This is something that they say it's diversity, equity, and inclusion, but it's really just ideology that they're imposing on people, and not just the students, but even the professors. They have to take these loyalty oaths, which we got rid of in Florida. DEI, as it's actually practiced, is better categorized as discrimination, exclusion, and indoctrination, and that has no place in our public institutions.
So no place in our public institutions. The University of North Carolina, UNC, as many people know about it, this is a really big story. The medical school there is disbanding its DEI task force without implementing any of its recommendations. Just months after banning DEI statements from admission, hiring, promotion, and tenure. We're going to talk about that when we come back, because if you've got, listen, folks, that's the University of North Carolina's medical school. This is not some fringe school. This is not like it's Hillsdale College or Liberty University going, we're going to get rid of DEI. Chick-fil-A now has they've had it. I think they've had it since 2019. It's a big deal now because somebody discovered it and put it on Twitter, and therefore it has become a big deal. But what does it mean if UNC's medical school is saying, nope, we're done with this. We're going to move on? I think it's a huge, huge deal. Maybe that has something to do with how you vote in today's poll. Maybe you think it's nothing. Who's winning the culture war? The left? The right? Nobody? Or the culture war doesn't even exist? You go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel in the live chat portion of today's live broadcast happening right now. You let us know what you think. Leave a comment. Hannah will feature some of those next hour as well. Stick around. Lots more of Annie Frey Show right around the corner.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Stop everything you're doing right now and ask yourself, are you currently receiving steady paychecks? What about when you're retired? Will you receive a monthly check to cover your expenses and also have some fun? Marvin Mitchell and the team at Compass Retirement Solutions calls this mailbox money. It's a monthly check you'll receive throughout retirement. They don't want you to worry about if the money will show up or how much money you'll receive. The only thing they want you to think about is how to spend it when it arrives. Find out how to get enough money in your mailbox every month when you're retired. Call Marvin Mitchell and the Compass Retirement Solutions team at 314-373-1598 to start working on a plan that can help you create the monthly income you'll need in retirement. Call 314-373-1598 right now and schedule a visit with Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois.
PreventSprainsocks.com. You go to the website and you can learn all about the science behind Prevent Sprain Socks. They're scientifically designed to prevent and lower the severity of ankle sprains. My kids don't play active sports without wearing their Prevent Sprain Socks. I made sure they all had at least 2 pairs of them. And when they go engage in basketball, or if they're playing volleyball or whatever it might be, I want them to make sure that their ankles are secure. If you really blow out an ankle when you're young and then you do what I did my senior year, I was 17 years old, came down on somebody else's foot, ankle popped out, thing blew up like a balloon immediately. And because I was young and dumb and pretty motivated to get back out on the floor, I didn't let it heal properly. The rest of my life, I've had to deal with a weak left ankle. That's why I wear Prevent Sprain Socks, to make sure that I have the security, the compression that I need on my foot to keep me active and in the game. Go online to PreventSprainsocks.com.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Keep it moving. Lisa Brady, Fox News. That's the hope of Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, with a House-passed debt limit deal now in his hands and the country still facing possible default Monday.
At this point, any needless delay or any last-minute holdups would be an unnecessary and even dangerous risk.
And Schumer adds any change sending it back to the House would almost guarantee default. Some conservative lawmakers floating alternative plans. But Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says the current plan moves Republican priorities in the right direction.
It makes the most serious headway in years toward curbing Washington Democrats' reckless spending addiction.
The Senate could vote as early as tonight. President Biden travels back to Washington later today from Colorado after speaking at the Air Force Academy graduation.
In the years to come, you'll have even more asked of you. You'll take on greater responsibilities, and you'll be challenged even beyond everything you've yet experienced.
Also telling graduates the world is increasingly unstable and needs them, highlighting challenges including China, Russia, and climate change. A middle school fight club under investigation in Loudoun County, Virginia.
Kids age 11 to 14 years old being pitted against each other for money, posting it to social media with some parents allegedly on board. Now, Lunsford Middle School principal Carrie Sims, she's having none of that, warning in a letter, quote, "We'd like to take a moment to inform parents of outside influences that have tried to make their way into the building. Students have created fight clubs, some of them elaborate with brackets, betting, and challenges, and many parents are well aware of their child's participation in them, some hosting in their garage or basement."
Fox's Griff Jenkins. Loudoun County Public Schools says violent behavior and its promotion on social media have no place in the school community. The sheriff's office investigating. America is listening to Fox News.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Simply Safe was named Best Home Security of 2023 by U.S. News and World Report. But we don't do what we do for the accolades. We do it to protect you and everything you love. Our advanced sensors, indoor and outdoor HD cameras, and hazard detectors are powered by live 24/7 professional monitoring, so you get emergency help fast. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
There's going to be a couple of scattered thunderstorms around going through our Thursday afternoon, but I want to stress the word scattered. They're not for everybody. Partly sunny skies at 89. Tonight, partly cloudy, a drop through the 80s this evening, 68 for the low. Let's do it again on Friday. Partly sunny skies with a couple of scattered thunderstorms, though not for everybody. Temperatures Friday afternoon, 89 degrees. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
STS Armory is in Pontoon Beach, Illinois. It's at the corner of Highway 111 and South Drive, and they're very easy to find online, sts-armory.com, along with helping you find the firearm that you're looking for. And my husband and I are going through this right now. We're looking for something particular, and I sent Katie a list, like, this is what we're looking for, and she gave me 3 options. We're going through what can we get, what is even legal, so on and so forth. I don't know the answers to these questions. So when I'm asking Katie or Jesse at STS Armory for help on this, I'm genuinely putting my trust into them because I do trust them. I trust them with the value of my dollar. I trust them to know the current laws. They have to. And I also trust them to provide the education that goes along with purchasing a firearm, carrying a firearm, owning a firearm, storing a firearm. all of these important aspects of being a responsible Second Amendment supporter and exerciser, you go to STS Armory and they walk you through the whole thing. So if you're a novice or if you are an expert, STS Armory is there to be your go-to, just like they are my go-to. You can find them online at sts-armory.com.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Governor Mike Parson.
The media, Mark, it is literally just an agenda. Thank goodness you guys are out there that sure are trying to give honest information.
97.1 FM Talk.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Diamonds Direct takes our most popular offer ever up to the next level. Now, for a limited time, you can make any purchase and take advantage of special financing for up to 5 years or get $5,000 off. Get the lowest possible monthly payment or get a generous cash credit. It's all about giving you more. Design the ring of your dreams with our most flexible finance options and best savings ever offered. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get details and more at diamondsdirect.com. On approved credit.
Join Mosby Building Arts every Saturday from 12 to 1 p.m. on 97.1 FM. Rich Orse and guests give insider tips about renovations, design, construction, exteriors, and more. Tune in to Right at Home with Rich on Saturdays or catch the podcast online.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. Cut up six-pack rings and reduce your use of plastic to keep it out of waterways and oceans. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not married to sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not married to sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
When you live in a crazy time, it's important to make sure that we're oriented on a strong foundation, and that foundation is truth. Truth must be our foundation. I don't have a separate truth than you. There's a truth, and we have to be locked in on reality and on facts and on the enduring principles that make this country great. Common sense can no longer be an uncommon virtue in this country.
There is Ron DeSantis running for president, and he's talking about truth. Man, you and I have both said, Brad, how annoying my truth is. No, that's your opinion.
Yeah. We're talking about the philosophy. You have your truth and I have my truth.
Brad, live your truth.
No, there is truth. If it's not true,
What if I don't want to live my truth?
Like, here's the thing.
Then just change it.
There is such thing as absolute truth. This is going to make people go cross-eyed when I walk you through this, but just follow me through this. You cannot say there is no such thing as absolute truth without the statement being absolutely true, which then in and of itself is an absolute truth. You cannot say there is no such thing as absolute truth without it being self-defeating. So therefore, there is such thing as absolute truth. And what you're trying to do is find what the truth is, the pursuit of truth. the truth, not a truth, not your truth, not my truth, the truth.
The only thing that really gives me peace, I can't say this for anybody but myself. The only thing that really gives me peace. Now, to understand what peace is, having peace with something almost always indicates that there's a portion of it that you're not cool with.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to make peace with winning $1 million.
Right.
You need to make peace with losing $1 million.
Yeah.
You need to make peace with. You can't make peace with something if you can't consume truth.
Right.
And I really feel strongly, really at my core, here's my truth. Here's my truth, folks, is that our lack of willingness to understand and accept the fact that truth is, and that it is not arbitrary, it's not subjective, it just is. What is true is truth. And that's the only thing that's true. You can approach something that is true from any different angle, from any different perspective or circumstance, and feel differently about it. But none of your feelings make it less true.
Right.
Ever. So the only way to truly have peace is to accept things that are true that you don't really love, but to come to the realization that this is reality. This is how things are. And now once I've accepted truth, not your truth or my truth, once I've accepted what is true, then I can start reacting to it based on my perspective, which is really where people get the your truth and my truth from. You cannot change the fact that biologically we have XX chromosomes and XY chromosomes and anomalies that exist outside of that biological determination by God, which is what I believe, or by some Big Bang, which is what maybe you believe, or whatever it is, whatever creator or creation story exists in your belief system. I believe God created the earth. That is true. There are people on this planet who have XY chromosomes who identify and feel more comfortable presenting themselves as women. That is true. That doesn't change your biology. It may change the way you look. You may change the way you look. You may change the way you present yourself. But truth still exists in science. And I will also say not the science, because that is a Fauciism that I will not speak about or use in my vernacular anymore. There is no the science. It's just science. And science is a constant, never-ending, never-ceasing pursuit of truth. All of these things that we've always known to be true. If you think, Brad, about the purpose of going to college, especially if you go back to maybe the 1980s movies about going to college, and these people go to expand their minds and to think thoughts that they've never considered thinking before, and to become an open-minded person, and which in the end of all of that, your open-mindedness often refines maybe who you were in the beginning, but now it's yours because you've thought about it and you've gone through it and you've had individual thoughts that brought you to the conclusions that maybe your parents always told you, this is what we are, or this is who you are, or whatever. When you become an adult, which is usually when you're in college, and you have to think the thoughts for yourself, you get to challenge yourself to say, do I believe what my parents have always told me I believe? Or do I believe something else? In those old 1980s movies that would show young, impressionable people expanding their minds and growing because of it, it's really the opposite now. You go to school to not learn how to think. You go to school to learn what you think. It's a doubling down on the parent-child relationship where a lot of people say, like, what about religion, Annie? Isn't that indoctrination? Well, first of all, that's something that's decided in the home. And I mean, I'd have to Google, and I will right now, exactly what the word indoctrination means. The process of teaching a person or group to accept a set of beliefs uncritically. So uncritically is the important word there. And the truth is, I'll speak from my Lutheran faith, which is very different than if you're Catholic, what you go through in your Catholicism, or if you're, all different faiths do different things. But just from what I know, in my Lutheran faith, I was born into a Lutheran family. I was baptized Lutheran. I went to a Lutheran school, but then I engaged in confirmation.
Mm-hmm.
And my 2 oldest kids are going through confirmation right now, which is where they're being challenged to think critically about their faith and to confirm their faith in Jesus, essentially, but through the Lutheran Church. So that's where that critical thinking does come into play. And if you're a practicing Christian, your responsibility is to attend church or to worship and to continuously. It's okay to question your faith. Wouldn't you say that's a natural?
That's healthy.
That's a natural human thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be critical about it. And my prayer is always that my children will, through the course of their lifetimes, question their faith, and that the Spirit will guide them through that process to make them more fortified at the end of that critical thinking,
Mm-hmm.
to say, this is where I am and I'm God's child. It's the same thing when it comes to politics, in that you're going to be raised in a house where, I think back about, how many of you were raised by union workers, and the union dictated a lot of things that went on in that political household, because the union in many ways provided for your household. You felt a sense of duty in your house if you were a union home. And I'm thinking in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, my grandpa I remember he was in a union and he worked in the refineries, and that was important. And there was an organized labor that protected the workers so that the big corporations couldn't take advantage of the people who work there. And the union had massive political sway with the people who were being elected into office. And that became a cyclical thing. And I'm mostly talking about privately funded unions here. You get raised in a union home. You probably aren't 8 years old. Some of you were. Some of you were on the picket line at 8. I've heard of. I know your stories personally. I've heard them. But you're 8. You know what it means to be a union Democrat. Now you've watched Donald Trump come through office, and I know so many of you, steelworking, hard laboring, working individuals, and Donald Trump is your guy. And that's not what the union laborers of 30 years ago, they'd have their jaw dropped for that, because there's critical thinking that is involved, and people are capable of this critical thinking, and they engage in it and they make decisions for themselves. When you think about the university system and how they take away the idea and importance of critical thinking, they are telling you what you think, what you believe, and really giving you your marching orders once you graduate that school. I feel that the YouTube live chat poll today, who is winning the culture war, the left, the right, nobody, or it doesn't exist? You just said this in the last segment, Brad, that the right has decided they've had enough.
Mm-hmm. That's where I'm at. Sitting there, I'm watching this. I'm watching stuff go on. And like, I always wondered, each one, it's like, where's the line? Where's the line? Where's the line? Because I think really, as people as a whole, we really are polite. People really want to be polite. They really don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Non-combative, non-confrontational.
Yeah, and people will actually deal with a lot of stuff, make peace with a lot of stuff that they aren't okay with, to avoid that confrontation. But every person has a line, and I feel like we're up against that line or crossing that line as we speak, and people are just done. They've had enough, and they're like, you know what? This is ridiculous. We're not doing this anymore. Let's push back. And I don't know how big the pushback is going to be. Like, are they just going to try to hold the line where it is, or is it going to push back? Are we going to go back in the culture war? Are we going to go back to a point where people are saying, you do what you're doing, I'll do what I'm doing. Let's not talk about it in public.
There are a couple of things that have brought us to this moment. And, we started this segment with a clip of Ron DeSantis, who's running for president, and the front runner in the Republican primary by specifically 34 points. I don't want to get it. I don't want to get it Kayleigh McEnany wrong. And
you don't want to get truth.
Draw the, yeah. Donald Trump has a massive lead. I don't think that conservatives are as emboldened to stand up and fight if they don't have Donald Trump, the fighter.
This is true.
for 4 years being not only unintimidated by the pressures, the nasty pressures that come from the activist progressive left, but also the willingness to punch back.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so much like, I'm not going to play your game. It's, no, I'm going to punch you in the face, bully.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump has really changed the conversation to where the right now believes, no, I think we do need to stand up. I don't think it would have happened this way if the Republicans had continued to be the party of the straightened tie, perfect suit, just carbon copy off the conveyor belt of conservative Republicans like Mitt Romney. We would have A, continued to lose, and B, continued to not fight.
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump changed the way Republicans and conservatives represent themselves to get us into the fight. But we have to learn how to fight. We have to learn what is the goal. What do we win? How do we know when we've won? And I don't know. To me, sometimes it feels like the Donald Trump willingness to fight mentality that was necessary and put the Republicans back on the map. We need to know what the prize is so that when we get it, we know that we've won something, because the fight in and of itself isn't the prize. And sometimes it feels like the fight is the goal.
The harder you fight, the more it's the goal. But the reason you fight is to push the ball down the field. It's why you have scrums in rugby. It's why you have offensive linemen and running games in football. It's why you have the forward pass. The idea is to get the ball down the field. It's the battle for some, and I would count myself in this group. The fight in itself, I like. I like to fight. I like to get into it. I like the debate. I like the back and forth. I do really like that. But the idea is not just to have the fight, but to have the fight with a goal at the end, like you were saying. When you reached it, you're arguing a point. You're trying to convince somebody. You're not going to be able to convince the person that's fighting on the opposite side as ardently as you are, but you might be able to convince the people that are watching the fight which side is right and which side is wrong.
Well, here's the question I want to answer when we come back. What are we fighting for? What is the end goal here? Because Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump would both be infinitely better presidents than Joe Biden or anybody, especially somebody who is younger and potentially more effective as the chief executive of this country, who is going to be able to go through and communicate in a much more effective way than President Biden. How do we know that what we're fighting for is within reach? And what is it that we are reaching for? Let's talk about that here on the Annie Frey Show when we come back. Don't go away.
Wants to bring me down.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
With all the love that his heart can stand, dream of ways to throw it all away. Whoa, whoa, gravity.
RulerFoods.com. If you are looking to save here in June on your grocery bill, you got to go to Ruler Foods to do that. You're going to be so pleased when you walk through their store. When you first walk in, just like most grocery stores, the produce is kind of out around the outside of the rim. Then there's the meat department, and they've got great cuts of meat. I remember we get our hot dogs there. They have really good bar-ass hot dogs. I love them. And that's been the kind that my kids always love, off the grill. They're delicious. And then you go through the back and there's the dairy and the frozen foods and everything. And then in the middle, you get your cereal and your pastas and all that stuff. It's just very similar to a regular grocery store. So shopping at Ruler Foods is as simple as anywhere else, but it's smarter, because you save money with each and every shopping trip. Let's talk about their 10 for $10 stock up through June 13th right now. Chef Boyardee canned pasta, Manwich, Hunt snack packs, Martha White muffin mix, Kraft macaroni and cheese, Rice-A-Roni, Haribo Gold Bears, and Theater Box candy. All of those 10 for $10. You're looking to save on your groceries, you just got to go to Ruler Foods. Find the one closest to you at rulerfoods.com.
Hello, I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. I'm so proud that we've helped over 15,000 businesses claim over $5 billion in cash incentives. If you own a business, even if you've asked your CPA about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. Every client is assigned a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to accurately determine eligibility. Innovation Refunds has hundreds of 5-star reviews on Trustpilot and Google, and your business might be entitled to receive up to $26,000 per employee. Businesses of all types can qualify, including medical, professional, construction, even nonprofits. Please don't miss out on this. Even your doctor would tell you to get an expert second opinion, and we do a lot of work for doctors. Download the Innovation Refunds app now or go to getrefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of $26,000 per employee. Getrefunds.com. GetRefunds.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
When companies decide to take shortcuts, the safety of our families are at risk. At Underlaw, we find and expose those shortcuts.
Call Onderlaw Personal Injury Lawyers at 314 or 618 $9
We made it. Summer is here, and I hope you have an incredible vacation planned. Mark Cox for my friends at Brenton Vision. If you've considered vision correction, now is the time to act before that summer vacation. Brenton Vision is the only place in Missouri you find all 7 forms of advanced vision correction, and their surgeon, Dr. Jason Brenton, explains these advanced treatments have a very quick recovery time. You don't have to miss out at all on your summer fun. And maybe you're thinking, well, how do I spend money on that and an awesome vacation? You can do both. Brenton Vision has very affordable payment plans. You can absolutely budget for clear vision and a great vacation this summer. Don't just take my word for it. My wife had lens replacement at Brenton Vision and she loves it. Look up Brenton Vision online. Check out the over 1,100 5-star reviews. Call them at 314-375-2020. 314-375-2020 or brentonvision.com. Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
St. Louis physician Dr. Abicki created Neovitin 15 years ago to help support his own nutrition when he needed it most. Since then, Neovitin has helped thousands of people support their daily nutrition with sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and Dr. Abicki's proprietary blend. If you're ready to join many St. Louisans in supporting their nutrition, give Neovitin a try. You can find Neovitin at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 54 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Congressman Ann Wagner.
Biggest killer, 19 to 45-year-old, is fentanyl in the U.S. So yes, we have a lot of things that are on fire under Joe Biden's failed policies.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Say love is more precious than gold. It can't be bought and it can't be sold. I got love enough to spare that makes me a millionaire.
Oh, this takes me back to Columbus. Those days in Columbus when we saw, I took my husband to Ohio, because what's more romantic than Ohio?
I don't know. Romance is where you are, though.
If you're with the right person. Cleveland last Friday night for the Cardinals-Guardians game, and Columbus, Ohio, the next night for George Strait and Chris Stapleton. Little Big Town was there. We saw the tail end of that. It was in Ohio Stadium. We were sitting on the 50-yard line of Ohio Stadium, and it was just magnificent. It is a core memory, for sure. I love hearing his voice. We've been talking a lot about the culture war stuff today, and the YouTube live chat poll for today is who is winning the culture war, the left, the right, nobody, or it doesn't exist. Hannah is hounding me to make sure that y'all come on and leave comments on the YouTube live chat to give us your thoughts and opinions. She's putting aside some of these comments, and I'm just going to tell you to come. If you don't want to comment on the poll, just come say hi to Hannah. She's lonely. Say hi.
There's like nobody out there in the associate producers area
It's
today.
just her and a whole box of donuts. Did you see those donuts out there?
I did.
Man, I keep walking past them. So far, the DEI controversy surrounding Chick-fil-A. Have you heard about this?
I've heard that there is a controversy surrounding Chick-fil-A with DEI.
This is one of those headline research things where you're scrolling through Twitter and like, oh, 6 people are mad at Chick-fil-A and saying they've gone woke. And then I'm usually like, I don't want to read that. I want to continue to eat Chick-fil-A and I don't want to be mad at them. And I'm just going to ignore it. But since we're here, I'm going to read from chick-fil-a.com/DEI. So this is straight from Chick-fil-A. Committed to being better at together. That's what the top of their website says. It says Chick-fil-A's corporate purpose is, quote, to glorify God by being a faithful steward of all that is entrusted to us, to have a positive influence on all who come into contact with Chick-fil-A. Our founder, Truett Cathy, believed that a great company is a caring company, and since the beginning, care has been at the center of everything we do. We understand that the path toward better at together looks different for every business. At Chick-fil-A Inc., our commitment is to approach this work with intention and humility, always believing the best in one another and striving for common ground. We're early on in our journey, but we're honored by the opportunity to steward our organization's greatest asset, our people, and are energized by the road ahead. So Eric McReynolds is the VP of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. He's got his photo up here. He's a black man, looks very pleasant, which would be really funny to put like your angriest, most serious picture up on your DEI. Chick-fil-A, this is a quote from him. Chick-fil-A restaurants have long been recognized as a place where people know they will be treated well. Modeling care for others starts in the restaurant, and we are committed to ensuring mutual respect, understanding, and dignity everywhere we do business. These tenets are good business practice and crucial to fulfilling our corporate purpose. Let me ask you this, Brad.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, everybody relax your brain, relax your mind right now, because we're going to do some mind-bending conversation here. Is the purpose of diversity, equity, inclusion in its most wholesome way a good thing? The non-industry version of it.
I think I could give that to you on diversity and inclusion, but I couldn't give it to you on equity.
You'd have to define what equity is. What if it was diversity, equality, and inclusion?
I could do that.
Okay. I think that's an important place to start, because this is very similar to the conversation of Black Lives Matter. Who the hell says that Black lives don't matter? Those people suck.
Yeah.
Period. Obviously. I mean, it's so offensive to think that there's anything about the sentence that Black Lives Matter that somebody would disagree
And I
with.
think that's why people get so frustrated with it, is because there's that underlying assumption that you have to say it because obviously people don't think that.
Correct. But obviously they do matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is Black Lives Matter been turned into a political industry that, by
Oh
the
my
way, is
gosh.
financially imploding upon itself?
It's unbelievable.
Yes. So it goes on to say here, when we're better at together, we're better together. One of our core values at Chick-fil-A Inc. is that we are better together. When we combine our unique backgrounds and experiences with a culture of belonging, we can discover new ways to strengthen the quality of care we deliver to customers, to the communities we serve, and to the world. We understand that getting better at together means we learn better, care better, grow better, and serve better. Pastor, do you
Okay.
disagree with any of that?
I don't, because it's talking about togetherness and it's not focusing on external things that at the end of the day don't matter.
There's Christian influence clearly
Mhm.
at Chick-fil-A. Not influence. It's a Christian foundation. It's more
Yeah.
than influence. It's
Oh,
the
yeah.
purpose.
Yeah.
Again, on the surface, pulling the political industry fundraising that turns around into lobbying and getting people elected, that turns around and elected people giving you pork-filled subsidies and so on and so forth. All the like prostitution that comes out of political lobbying.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of diversity, including people, extending yourself to other people, serving people, selflessness, those aren't Chick-fil-A properties. Those aren't DEI properties. Those are Christian properties.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that was kind of the whole thing of Christianity. One of the things that Jesus was talking about, the first shall be last and the last shall be first. You know, Jesus washed the feet of his disciples. There's a whole big thing behind that, the whole big cultural thing, historical context that goes behind that to show how humbling that is. But it's, we call it at my church, we call it servant leadership, where you lead by serving. And it's, like you said, it's a core Christian value. It's something that was, I would say, invented by Christianity, not just, it didn't come from anywhere else. I mean, it is a Christian value because it was one of the main things that Jesus preached, taught.
The website goes on to say Chick-fil-A Inc.'s commitment to being better at together means embedding diversity, equity, and inclusion in everything we do. So you're shaking your head no, which
I don't know what they're saying.
But you need to, right?
Mm-hmm.
We know what that means in a headline that comes from a conservative news outlet or a liberal news outlet. We know if you attach that statement, this is why I want to read the statement once again. And imagine me saying this, that Slate wrote blah, 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 or Variety or some super left-leaning thing says this, or that Breitbart or Red State or Daily Caller or the Daily Wire, whatever. Chick-fil-A's commitment to being better at together means embedding diversity, equity, and inclusion in everything we do. The point being, where does this statement come from when it comes to political media reports? You're going to get a version of this from those entities. Let's find out what Chick-fil-A, straight from the source, what they mean by embedding DEI in everything we do. To achieve this, we focus on the first one, ensuring equal access, which to me sounds like equality over equity, because equity is outcome.
Equity is outcome.
Equality is opportunity. Ensuring equal access. We intentionally promote equal opportunity through our processes and practices. We strive to provide personalized development and eliminate barriers to opportunities so all can thrive.
Barriers to opportunities is huge.
Thumbs up?
Yeah, we don't want to prevent people from having the opportunity to succeed.
The next one, valuing differences. Our similarities and differences strengthen us as we unite around something bigger than ourselves. We seek to understand and honor our unique experiences and perspectives.
Okay.
Problems?
Can't really. To an extent, I don't know that you can be so different that it makes you stronger. I think at some point having a lot of differences makes you weaker, but
gender, age,
differences,
life experience,
stuff like that,
skin color.
Yeah, it gives you different perspectives to embrace the same, to look at a problem from different angles, as long as you have the same goal in mind at the end.
Valuing differences. Are you okay with this?
I'm okay with it.
Last one, creating a culture of belonging. We inspire a community by meeting people where they are. We promote and sustain a culture where all individuals can thrive and contribute their personal best.
That's just being fair toward people, treating them nicely.
I mean, that's pretty much their DEI page. They have a commitment and action section throughout our business. They talk about recruiting top-tier talent, providing access to education. They provide opportunities for education and growth to Chick-fil-A restaurant team members through their Remarkable Future Scholarship Program. That doesn't suck. Engaging through Chick-fil-A community groups. Staff have other opportunities to build community and develop professionally through Chick-fil-A learning circles and our quote Food for Thought speaker series. And then it says fostering diverse supplier partnerships. In 2015, we began a partnership with Thrive Farmers, which continues to be our U.S. and Canada coffee supplier today. Thrive Farmers has a unique revenue sharing model that allows for coffee farmers to receive higher wages and a more stable income stream. In addition to our partnership with Thrive Farmers, we are developing mentorship, development, and partnership opportunities for minority-owned businesses to strategically engage within our supply chain, and we are working to provide additional support through the launch of several supplier diversity efforts, including an annual development forum.
Yeah. I listen to that, and what I don't hear is a bunch of woke gobbledygook, if for lack of a better term. I see a company that's striving to be inclusive without being obnoxious. They're trying to give people the opportunity, so they're trying to get away from any sort of barriers that would prevent somebody from achieving stuff, but they're not trying to ensure that, you know, the outcome's equal. Once you get the opportunity, it's on you to make the most of that opportunity. So I see that. I don't see them trying to force or put their thumb on the scale for outcomes. I see them not. I really don't see them talking about, you know, anything other than you're a person and you matter. This is why you can be a part of our company, or we want to partner with you as our company. I don't see any sort of blame being thrown on one group or another for the shortcomings of another group, if that makes sense. There's nobody to blame. They're just saying, hey, these are the initiatives we're putting together to make sure that everybody has the same opportunities.
It's kind of the way it should be.
Right.
I don't know the background behind this, but I see tweets that are like, I guess we're boycotting Chick-fil-A now. And hey, if you've been listening to your girl for a while, I don't like boycotts. I've never been the person who has said, like, tell me who I'm not spending money with again. I have chosen not to spend money with places. I've chosen to spend less money with places. My opinion is it's a personal decision for me. Bud Light, unfortunately, is a decision that people have to make repeatedly and can repeatedly say when they go to the grocery store to get their beer for the week or whatever it is. Every day that they go in there, they get to make another decision. And that has the frequency with which people make the decision for a beer they're drinking versus maybe a car that they're going to drive or not drive or whatever. Even a shoe, like you're going to buy a pair of shoes once a year or 6 months or whatever it is. I think that people are making these decisions on a regular basis, but you do have to do the research. And if people want you to boycott Chick-fil-A because they just have somebody doing DEI, what if they're doing it the way that it should be done, which is to say that all people matter, just like you were saying, Brad, and that they stand for something, that there's Chick-fil-A has, it's an amazing case study in capitalism in this country. Because there are a lot of people who hate conservative politics who love their chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A. And it sells. And this is one of the biggest reasons why I don't and won't come on here and ever tell you where to spend your money or not spend your money is because if I were to say don't shop at Target, shop at Walmart, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't take very long for me to find a reason why you shouldn't be shopping at Walmart. It's your decision. And maybe, I mean, good grief. What percentage of things in Walmart are made in China? Right? I hate when people say right. There are reasons that matter to you as to why you choose to spend your money where you choose to spend it. You can use your voice also. You can communicate. I mean, are you boycotting? Are you communicating with the people who run the company? Are you reaching out to their customer service lines to articulate to them why you are not so happy with decisions that they're making? Is the end goal, this is what we were talking about in the first segment, is the end goal of the culture war, what are you winning? And what has to be lost in order for you to win? Is the only way that the Target boycott works is if Target has to close? Or is there a statement where Target could come out? Is there a statement where Bud Light could come out? Is there a statement where any of these entities could come out and say, we screwed this up? We tried to determine what's important for you, and we disrespected a lot of our customers when we did that. We know that there are people that felt supported when we made this statement, but when we spoke out in this way supporting this group, we also alienated another one.
Mm-hmm.
And from a business perspective, that was the wrong choice. And we'd like to get back to providing you a clean, organized atmosphere where you can provide for your home the things that you need, where you can drink the beer with your buddy or your family members to celebrate or to get together and have a good time. We want to get back to the business of doing what we do really well. And we're going to ask you for your support when you're ready to come back, to give us the opportunity to serve you in the way that we are intended to serve you. If that were to come out from Anheuser-Busch or Bud Light, I think it would change a lot of minds. It's not going to change everyone's.
No.
Some of that damage is permanently done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. I mean, like you said, the end goal, I don't know. I think of it like a parent punishing a child.
Yeah.
When you punish your
similar.
child, it's to correct behavior. You're not trying to destroy your child's life when you punish them. That child may feel like their life is being destroyed when you're punishing them. But the goal is to correct the harmful behavior. Same idea whenever you decide, I am not going to spend my money with Bud Light or whoever. The goal is to correct that behavior, to restore them, to restore that relationship. But it's going to be incumbent upon them to eventually change course.
Yeah.
And if they don't change course, so be it. That's them choosing to go down the path that they want to go down.
Well, let's get Hannah in here to read some of your feedback. So jump on the Annie Frey YouTube live stream right now. And in the comments, tell us who you think is winning the culture war, the left, the right, nobody, or it doesn't even exist. You vote in the live chat poll right there, but then you leave a comment. And like I said, say hi to Hannah. She wants to see your smiling faces there on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. And she'll be in here with us back on camera to give us some of your thoughts on the poll. We'll get the results for you at 2:45. Annie, are you okay? Also coming up in about 40 minutes from now. More Annie Frey Show in a minute.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
The Diamond Shop in Clayton, Brad just said right now, that place just sparkles. It's crazy. That's a direct quote. Were you there yesterday?
I was.
You sent me a
Yesterday yesterday was my anniversary.
Fantastic. Well, good job on going to the Diamond Shop. Did she take you or did you take her?
I took her.
Yes.
Yeah.
But just stick with it.
Yeah.
The Diamond Shop in Clayton has been serving St. Louis since 1910. I have been a customer of theirs for years, and this is a generational thing. A lot of people start going to the Diamond Shop, and then that's just where they tell everybody else to go in their family, because it's a family oriented business, a family operated business. You will get opportunities to save on products when you become a VIP online at thediamondshop.net. And you have access to the very best in the business in the St. Louis market. They are so kind and so knowledgeable and so eager to help you through your jewelry purchase. They do custom jewelry. If you have a piece that you want to take from where it is right now to something else, maybe it's an earring and you want to make it a pendant, whatever it might be, you go to the Diamond Shop. They're going to help make that a reality for you. They'll also do jewelry and watch repair, appraisals, and they buy gold as well. And they have special financing, 6 months, same as cash. Go to the people who we shop when it comes to our jewelry needs, the Diamond Shop, online at thediamondshop.net.
Hello, everybody. I'm John Rooney. Do you have an old car that's taking up room in the driveway? Repairs are costly and selling is a hassle. That's why you should donate it to Goodwill. Donating is quick and towing is free. Plus, you get a tax receipt and 4 tickets to a Cardinals game, compliments of the St. Louis Cardinals. That's a win-win. For more information or to donate, visit online at mersgoodwill.org. Must mention Cardinals.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance to buy $1 million of affordable term life for you you? All you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
Did you know St. Louis leads the nation in rounding up at our local McDonald's restaurants? That small change can make a big difference by supporting the building of a new local Ronald McDonald House. Please learn more at rmhcstl.com.
Coming up in the 2 o'clock hour, Trisha is going to come into the studio and play Annie, Are You Okay With Us? And then at 2:45, I'm going to read the poll results to the question, who is winning the culture war? The left, the right, nobody, or it doesn't exist? Stay tuned for all that coming up in this next hour of the Annie Frey Show. The current time is 1:50. This update is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Conservative solutions, objective conclusions. For news and opinion, this is St. Louis's home for conservative talk. 97.1 FM Talk.
Ooh, yeah. They say it's all
You're
right.
listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
It's all right. Have a good time, 'cause it's all right. Whoa, it's all right. Now we gonna move it slow. Up in the lights are low. When you move it slow, it feels like a moan, 'cause it's all right. Whoa, it's all right.
All right.
Listen to the beat.
I have a Gen Z question.
Oh, boy.
Let's go to our Gen Z expert. Do you know what, I hope you guys didn't talk about this while I was gone. Do you know what bed rotting is?
No.
Good. It's because
Bed rotting. Doesn't sound like anything that appeals to me, but okay.
It doesn't sound pleasant at all.
This is I've seen multiple articles. I don't know why I'm getting served these articles. Maybe they're suggesting something. New York Post, bed rotting. Gen Z is destroying their future. This is an interesting concept. They say it's time for Gen Z to stop bed rotting and leave the house. Apparently, I guess it goes along with a TikTok trend or something like that. But the idea that it's not because you're sick or something like that, but you go and you just lay in bed and watch TV for hours and hours and hours a day is now called bed rotting.
Is it like a trend?
I guess. I don't know. These youngins go do stupid things, but the key is they have to name it something.
Yeah, there's a name for everything.
So then you can put it on your social media and tell people it is now a trend that you have to tell people that you're taking the day to lay in bed and do absolutely nothing. And it's called bed rotting. And it's such a big deal that apparently the New York Post had to write on it. Working from home could stunt career growth and romantic relationships. Scott Galloway, a marketing professor at NYU's Stern School of Business, said the Wall Street Journal CEO said at this summit last week, you should never be at home. That's what I tell young people. Home is for 7 hours of sleep, and that's it. Galloway dished in a clip posted by the Journal on TikTok, of course. The amount of time you spend at home is inversely correlated to your success professionally and romantically. You need to be out of the house. Evidence has suggested that folks who work outside of the house have higher rates of success. What do you think about that in the wake of, as we spoke about earlier, you being a COVID senior and you didn't even get to have your senior year in school? You've kind of been cultured to stay at home.
I have been cultured to stay at home. I had to be at school at home. I did my first entire year of college online. I think that everybody needs to, get out because the world's out there now. Everything's open and it's free. Enjoy it. I mean, I'm all for a lazy day every now and then, but I do not want to participate in, quote, bed rotting.
Exception to the rule. The lazy day is an exception.
Every now and then, but still, even a whole day in bed just really isn't productive, isn't something I want to take part in. But of course, there's a name for it. They really could have picked something better, really.
Especially if it's something you're bragging about. What is
I can just see it in my mind. I can see like the little music in the background, people showing the snacks they have in their bed. I can just see this being glamorized.
Get the snacks out of your bed.
And something that people want to partake in. I can just see it already.
Am I a grumpy old man?
No, you're a normal man that's annoyed by annoying things.
I feel like I'm
Did
a
I say
grumpy
you're old?
I'm like, my wife and I actually had this discussion on Tuesday. I hate the idea of taking days off of work to do nothing. So if I'm going to take these days off of work, we're going to go do something because I could just go into work and, work and be productive. And I don't like the end of the day. If I am not productive at the end of the day, whatever it is, I feel like I've wasted time. And I don't know if that just comes from a different perspective on how much time you actually have and how quickly time actually goes, or if I'm just dissatisfied with not being productive. I don't know where that comes from, but I feel like there should always be something to do. There's always something that you can be doing, be it fun or accomplishing something. And the idea of laying around, doom scrolling, bed rotting, watching TV, doing nothing is just, it makes my skin crawl.
You do have a really good point about how my generation was made to stay at home.
I mean, the fact that athleisure is an acceptable kind of attire to go anywhere anymore. I'm wearing jeans right now and I probably look dressed up compared to most places where you go to work right now. I mean, I remember when leggings, the whole concept of leggings as pants, like acceptable pants, people wear leggings. Hannah, you wear leggings to work
all the time.
And like that was unfathomable to think that you would wear leggings to work. And I mean, I'm talking like 2019.
Yeah.
That would not have been acceptable.
COVID really, I think, changed a lot of that. Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, not a bed rotter?
Not a bed rotter.
If you are going to bed rot, though, do it from noon to 3 and hop on the Annie Frey Show on the YouTube channel. We'll be back in a minute. Don't go away.
Paid for by Open Chart Concepts. Attention firefighters, members of the military, and airport workers. For decades, first responders and firefighters at military bases and airports used a chemical-based foam to fight fires. Studies have shown that chemicals used to make aqueous film-forming foam, or AFFF, are highly toxic to humans and have been associated with several types of cancer. If you or someone you know was exposed to AFFF and were diagnosed with any of these cancers, including kidney, bladder, prostate, pancreatic, lymphoma, leukemia, testicular, and neuroendocrine, then you should call us immediately because you may be entitled to significant cash compensation. Call us at 800-515-8809. Our experienced attorneys will fight to get you the compensation you deserve, and you pay nothing unless we get a recovery in your favor. Time is limited to file a claim, so call us now, 800-515-8809. Operators are standing by 24/7, so don't wait. 800-515-8809. That's 800-515-8809. Again, 800-515-8809.
There's something so new and fresh about the smell of brand new carpet in a house or in a place of business. And Michael's Flooring Outlet can help you achieve that. Of course, you're not going to buy flooring just because it smells great, but it's a good benefit from the new flooring you're going to put in your house. And you want to make sure that your investment is going to be a good one. Michael's Flooring Outlet, locally owned and operated, family owned and operated right here in St. Louis for 3 decades. You don't get to be a locally owned and operated business, especially in this world with the ups and downs that we've seen. You can't be successful for that long if you're not doing something incredibly right. Quality products is important, of course. Quality service is incredibly important, but value is right up there, tied for first with the quality that you're going to get. And when you work with a customer sales representative from Michaels, you're going to get that. You can find them online at igotfloored.com. They've got multiple locations throughout the St. Louis area, but you're going to want to check them out for your next flooring purchase. igotfloored.com.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1. Find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2. Have a plan to get there. Step 3. Make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all three with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
How long does it take to tackle a home project? With Angie, you could cross it off your list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need. Indoor or outdoor, repair or redesign, and we handle the rest, sending a top pro to get it done. You don't have to lift a finger, except to tap the screen or click the mouse. Plus, Angie is free to use. So bring us your next home project, and we'll bring it home. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com to get started.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio, 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The president loses a round on Capitol Hill. Lisa Brady, Fox News. The U.S. Senate, where Democrats have a narrow majority, votes to repeal President Biden's plan to forgive some student loan debt. The vote was 52-46, with two Democrats, Senators Manchin and Tester, voting for repeal, along with independent Kirsten Sinema. Opponents argue in part the relief plan isn't fair to other borrowers. Virginia Democratic Senator Tim Kaine says it's good for the economy.
That is helping a group of people, but it's also helping the economy. People who get student loan relief, they buy cars earlier, they are able to buy a house earlier, they're able to have more financial stability. It's good for the economy and not only just good for the individual borrowers who get relief.
The White House has pledged a veto of the repeal resolution. The student loan relief plan is also awaiting a Supreme Court decision. Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis continues a campaign blitz.
We will shut the border down. We will build a border wall. We will end mass migration into this country.
Highlighting top priorities in New Hampshire after a two-day, five-town swing through Iowa, where former President Trump is today.
I've been watching DeSantis go out and say, I've got 8 years. It's going to be 8 years. Let me tell you something. Right there, you should vote against him. It'll take me 6 months to have it totally the way it was. We'll have it fast.
He has a town hall on Fox News tonight with Sean Hannity beginning at 9 Eastern. President Biden has not been out on the trail.
Team Biden's now focusing on building a team, raising money, and putting up ads, such as when they trolled Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' Twitter Spaces launch, buying Google ads for searches like DeSantis flop and DeSantis disaster.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House. We've just gotten word that President Biden tripped and fell near the end of an Air Force Academy graduation event where he had earlier given a commencement address. He was helped up, but then walked away unassisted. America's listening to Fox News.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't. Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
At SimpliSafe, we know during a break-in, every second counts. So our home security system is powered by 24/7 professional monitoring agents who use Fast Protect technology, only from SimpliSafe, to capture video evidence and verify a threat for fast police response. Now, install SimpliSafe your way. Do it yourself or have an expert set it up for you with new Pro Install. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplisafe.com/radio. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
There's going to be a couple of scattered thunderstorms around going through our Thursday afternoon, but I want to stress the word scattered. They're not for everybody. Partly sunny skies and 89. Tonight, partly cloudy, a drop through the 80s this evening, 68 for the low. Let's do it again on Friday. Partly sunny skies with a couple of scattered thunderstorms, though not for everybody. Temperatures Friday afternoon, 89 degrees. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Stuart's American Mortgage. He's the big loan guy. A lot of people looking at their credit card rates and the debt. It's big. and the rates keep going up, and you're wondering, how am I going to get ahead of this? Well, the equity in your home might be the solution. Rates on your mortgage refinance might be higher than they were before, but it kind of depends on what your personal situation is. And if you feel like you're not going to be able to get out of this credit card hole because of Lord knows what, everything costs more money these days, and you've had to go to your credit cards in case of an emergency, and it just happened. What are you going to do about it now? Let me suggest to you talking to Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage to consider a refinance on your home and using the equity in your home to do that. He can walk you through it. He's going to tell you if it's a good idea or if it's a bad idea. He's not going to take your money and take your business if it's not what's best for you. But when you call or text 314-324-4440 and talk to Stewie about that refinance, or if you're looking to purchase a home and get a new mortgage, you can ask him about the bagel loan. He is the guy you can trust. I've trusted him twice with a refinance with my home. You can with yours as well. 314-324-4440. You can Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
Diamonds Direct takes our most popular offer ever up to the next level. Now, for a limited time, you can make any purchase and take advantage of special financing for up to 5 years, or get $5,000 off. Get the lowest possible monthly payment, or get a generous cash credit. It's all about giving you more. Design the ring of your dreams with our most flexible finance options and best savings ever offered. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get details and more at diamondsdirect.com. Unapproved credit.
Did you know the IRS is a super creditor? Hi, I'm Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. The IRS is the only creditor that can create a bill for you without your permission, then drop the hammer and aggressively collect it by wiping out your bank account, seizing your assets, and levying your wages. No other creditor can do that, and this can all happen without a court approval. If you owe back taxes, you need to be prepared to face the super creditor. Don't just sit back and take it. Fight back. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, we know how to use the laws to your advantage and go toe-to-toe with the IRS. Our office is located right here in St. Louis. Contact the Lance Drury Law Firm today for a free consultation with me, or visit us at lancedrurylaw.com, or call 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120 to get started.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Is your summer staffing situation significantly scarce? Then you need Indeed. Their powerful all-in-one hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Want to find your next great hire? Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. When buying toys for your pet, look for natural materials like cotton, rope, wood, or bamboo. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
You could be watching this right now. Tune into the Annie Frey Show live stream. YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Twitter. You know what? Just type in Annie Frey Show live stream. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
So I don't think we've been on the show together, Brad, since the DeSantis announcement officially happened. Because Wednesday was my last day on the air, and we knew that he was announcing it officially on Twitter that night.
Right.
And now the primary Olympics are in full swing. Let's see, DeSantis, I think, was in New Hampshire, Trump in Iowa, and it's on. I really enjoy the competition. I think it's good that we're having these conversations. I think it's important that, remember, it's not just Trump and DeSantis.
And the one thing we all should realize and take a step back from the pundits who tell us that the progressive story of America is one that is filled with racism. It is a lie from the pit of hell. What we can believe is the story of evolution. America is the one country on earth that fought the big fight so that we could all live together. I'm not talking about the Civil War. I'm talking about the fight that happens every single day where everyday Americans show up for each other. That's why my Faith in America tour reinforced my confidence that believing in each other is our best path forward.
Tim Scott is a breath of fresh air.
He really is. And man, he's just, I really want him to be the right guy for the moment, and he's just not the right guy for the moment.
Great vice presidential material.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
On the campaign stump, very good at communicating a message and bringing it back to the point.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that this is a fantastic, amazing country, and it has overcome so much and has much to overcome yet. But can we be happy warriors about it? Because Tim Scott seems to be.
Man, that dovetails nicely with the Great American Comeback, doesn't it?
Is that who's
That's
that?
DeSantis.
Is it? Is that his slogan?
It's what I'm hearing a lot of.
I think Ryan asked yesterday, "What's the slogan?" We were like, "Well, I don't know." It wasn't a good enough one but I've been out of practice. Yeah. So, and I didn't get to be here after the announcement and the launch. So there is Tim Scott. I am a huge Tim Scott fan. I would love it if he was our president one day.
That'd be amazing.
That would be I would be giddy to watch the whole thing unfold and to see what he would do. Huge Tim Scott fan. I know you've been wondering what Chris Direwalt has to say.
Chris Christie, you know him, is pugnacious. He does not back down from a fight. And I think he would like the chance to go toe-to-toe with Donald Trump again and as a former prosecutor, make the case. With Pence, I think what he experienced on January 6th, when you read his book and you listen to him talk about it, what he experienced on January 6th with Trump sending a mob to the Capitol, calling for his neck, and all that transpired there. I think what Mike Pence is fighting for, and I don't want to sound grandiose about this, but I think what Mike Pence is fighting for, if there's a rationale for his candidacy, it is for sort of the soul of the Republican Party, right? Like for the traditional Republican Party.
Chris Direwalt has been on the show many times. A nice little Annie Frey show trivia. I went to see the Cardinals play Baltimore in 2017, and Chris Direwalt sat in the bleachers behind me with his son, and we had a nice conversation, and he came on the show many times since then. And then, of course, Chris Direwalt was at the epicenter of the 2020 election, right?
Yeah.
And I haven't heard from him in a long time. What he's saying there to me feels very GOP-y. Very establishment-y. Christie wants another shot at Trump. Oh, I'm sure he does. But there's a lot of people who want a shot at Donald Trump. We were talking about what should we make the poll for today before the show started. And if you're wondering, it's who's winning the culture war, go vote, please. And you said, Brad, something like, should we do something about Pence or Chris Christie? And I'm like, I just don't think people care. I don't care. And it's hard for me to advocate, you should come weigh in on this. And I'm like, I don't even really want to talk about it. Mike Pence to me is a cartoon character of a Republican political candidate.
Mm-hmm.
He's just really well drawn.
Mm-hmm. He's like the dad from Johnny Quest.
Yeah. And you listen to what he says. He has this very smooth, very poetic delivery. And then there's Donald Trump, who is the Kool-Aid man of politics. And I just don't think this is the time for the cartoon character Republican to come in. I don't really have negative things to say about Mike Pence. I think he's a great man. I think he's a strong, principled conservative. Him being on Donald Trump's ticket made me feel better about voting for Donald Trump in the original 16 race. I don't think anybody's asking for Mike Pence. I don't know. I talk to a lot of people about politics, so much so that basically everywhere I go, people walk up to me and start whispering out of the side of their mouth. And they're like, it's always like this. So, and then whatever the story of the day is. So, Chick-fil-A. Are we eating a Chick-fil-A? I don't know. Do you want a chicken sandwich? You should eat a Chick-fil-A if you want a good chicken sandwich. Those are like my conversations. Nobody's like, so when's Pence getting in the race? Not ever. If I went up to somebody, or if I brought that into the conversation, they would rear their head back and be like, what are you talking about? I don't think as many people hate Mike Pence as Donald Trump wants.
No, I would agree with that 100%.
But I don't think as many people are saying you got to get in as Mike Pence wants.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a huge difference between not hating Mike Pence and thinking that I want him to be the president.
Yeah. So in the midst of all this, I think I played this yesterday, but so there's a little taste of what's going on in the Republican primary outside of course, the firebrand of Donald Trump and the challenger DeSantis.
Attacking Kayleigh McEnany is insane. She's one of the best press secretaries ever. Dana Perino, as Ari Fleischer are watching too, just saying she was fantastic, but she's an analyst now. She doesn't work for any campaign.
I have a big problem here. And I watched a lot of Fox News, especially daytime Fox News, getting ready for the show, just to see what they're talking about and to know what the key stories are that they're covering. I pay very close attention to what Kayleigh McEnany has said about the race so far. I've never heard her disparage Donald Trump.
I haven't either.
Not a single time. I've heard her talk about Florida. She lives in Tampa. I've heard her talk about the successes that Florida has had under Ron DeSantis. Those are facts. Go back, rewind on the Odyssey app to the part where we're talking about truth and what truth is and how it's not your truth or my truth. Donald Trump has his truth about how Florida is good and how Florida sucks. And of all of those things, why Florida isn't really that great. Here's Ron DeSantis.
So look, I'm going to respond to attacks. I mean, if you say Cuomo did a better job with COVID than Florida did, first of all, that's not what he used to say. This is like new. Like 6 months ago, he would have never said that, right? He used to say how great Florida was. Hell, his whole family moved to Florida under my governorship. Are you kidding me?
He's right.
Yeah.
One of my main problems with Donald Trump in this version of Donald Trump, this campaign Donald Trump 2023, the only thing that really seems to matter to Donald Trump is loyalty. I don't see him have loyalty to anybody.
No.
It is only demanded. It is not provided. What has Kayleigh McEnany done? Or maybe there's something to come where Kayleigh McEnany is going to go out in public and endorse Ron DeSantis, which would be the stupidest thing she could do from the position she's on, as Kilmeade said there, as an analyst. If she's doing her job responsibly, she's going to tout the benefits and the drawbacks of anybody who comes into the race. What has Kayleigh McEnany done to deserve being stabbed in the back by Donald Trump? Because that's not loyalty. And if you want to employ loyalty as a litmus test for anybody to be able to swipe their Republican card, Trump goes first. And if he doesn't have it for those people, how can he demand it from anybody else? I don't understand what he thinks that people owe him. And if he can't take some criticism, which I don't know, there may be an element of the Kayleigh McEnany thing that we are not yet privy to, that maybe Kayleigh McEnany has already decided she's going to leave Fox News and go be the spokesperson, the national campaign spokesperson for DeSantis. If that's the case and we find that out, I'll go, okay, well, I can see why he's a little miffed about that. But to insult her when she was one of your strongest advocates and has been consistently for years, why?
I have no idea. I go back and I listen. Like, if you go back and listen to her in the White House press briefings, she was an absolute warrior for him. She fought against misinformation that was coming from the White House press corps. She pushed back on stuff. She quoted facts. She painted Trump in the best light that she could possibly do. There was no wavering, no backing up or anything like that. She was everything he could have asked for from a press secretary. And then like he comes out and he didn't like the numbers that she gave on a poll. And so he's going to throw a big hissy fit and call her horrible.
Kayleigh McEnany said that he was up. My recollection is that he was up 25 points. He put together a whole post on True Social gave her the nickname Kaylee Milquetoast McEnany and criticized her for saying that he was up 25 points, not 34 points. It's petulant.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, like from the outside looking in, not knowing what's going on behind the scenes, it seems like he's panicking. It seems like he's flailing. Like, I get it. Donald Trump swings for the fences. He tries to hit a home run with every insult that he makes. But it seems like he's not standing in the batter's box right now swinging for the fences. He's swinging for the fences in the dugout, and he's hitting people that he doesn't need to be hitting. And I don't understand what's going on with that. It's off the rails. It's bizarre. And so I wish that he would refocus his attacks on what needs to be attacked.
In order to make America great again, right now what I'm getting from the Trump primary campaign, especially from the people they're employing on social media, in order to make America great again, what I'm getting from them, this is coming from them, this is what they're imparting on voters, is fealty.
Mm-hmm.
That is as un-American as it gets.
Yeah.
Every day that you are in office, you should be working to earn my support. The day that any support is determined to be owed, we're not going to be able to make America great again because we have lost the understanding of what makes America great. And that's us.
Yeah.
That's not any elected official on the left or on the right, which is why I keep face palming and saying, what are you doing? You're making this hard. You're making this very difficult. And just like what you said, Brad, if you're saying, what are you doing? If you're flailing like this and you're scared, that's got to be fuel on the Ron DeSantis fire, fuel on the Tim Scott fire. Heck, fuel on the Chris Christie fire. Let him at him. Let him go. Let him rumble. I mean, Chris Christie's got to think he's got nothing to lose.
Right.
That he hasn't already lost. And I am, go back and check the tapes, folks, huge Chris Christie fan in New Jersey because that blue state had Chris Christie and a Chris Christie in the state of Illinois. Whoo! Send him over here right now. We got some things to get done. And Chris Christie would do that in the state of Illinois. But you have to remember that I'm coming from navy blue Illinois. And that's not what I want for the whole country. Anyhow, I don't get it. I don't understand it. And generally speaking, the criticism I'm going to get from you folks listening who are mad about it right now is that Donald Trump should have my loyalty. If your argument to my criticism of Donald Trump is that he requires fealty from his subjects, and that if your argument is I'm not loyal enough, well, I think that we're done here.
Yeah.
I think that's all we got.
Yeah.
You can put that on your column win if you want, but I'm going to go watch a baseball game. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Trisha in studio with us. Hannah will be coming back as well. Annie, are you okay? On a Thursday afternoon. What a great song. Stick around. We'll be back in a minute.
That make my mouth water. So I started walking her way. She belonged to Batman Jose. And I knew, yes I knew I should leave when I heard her say, hey, come a little bit closer, you're my...
PreventSprainSocks.com, invented by doctors and physical therapists to make sure that your ankles have the support they need so that you can stay active. That's very important, especially when you're aging, and I'm including myself in that category. At 39 years old, a former athlete, probably still whatever you call a middle-aged mom of four who wants to try to be as active as she can. I guess I'm kind of like a middle-aged athlete. I want to make sure that I'm not going to bust my ankle and have to limp around all of the places that I need to go. I need that support when I'm being active and in the game. Prevent Sprain Socks provide me that opportunity. They increase blood flow, which helps lessen muscle and ankle fatigue. So if you've got a weak ankle like I do, or if you're just using your ankles a lot, if you're running, if you're playing pickleball, if you've got children who are playing athletics, I do, they wear Prevent Sprain Socks as well. Reports indicate 50% less recovery time for those ankles while they are participating in those activities that are keeping them healthy. If you're interested in checking them out some more, they also have socks for golfer that are lower cut. You can go online to PreventSprayingSocks.com.
Cardinals baseball is in full swing.
Right center field, a grand slam for Nolan Gorman.
With the free Odyssey app, local fans can listen live all summer long, whether you're at the grill or at the pool.
And it's a gunner! An opposite field home run for Wilson Contreras.
Cardinals baseball. Cardinals announcers. Streaming live on the free Odyssey app. AUDACY. Get in the game and download it today.
This is a message for all St. Louis Metro homeowners. If you want to sell your house, but only the thought of it gives you a headache, Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis has great news for you. Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis can help you avoid any headache and will buy your house for cash in as-is condition, and you won't even have to do any repairs, cleaning, or paying any fees. Just call 314-782-8000 for a fast and easy solution and sell your house today. Chris buys all kinds of houses, inherited houses, vacant houses, fixer-uppers, and also beautiful houses. All you need to do is call Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis at 314-782-8000 and let Chris take care of everything for you. Call Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis, 314-782-8000 and get the peace of mind you deserve.
We made it. Summer is here, and I hope you have an incredible vacation planned. Mark Cox for my friends at Brenton Vision. If you've considered vision correction, now is the time to act before that summer vacation. Brenton Vision is the only place in Missouri you find all 7 forms of advanced vision correction, and their surgeon, Dr. Jason Brenton, explains these advanced treatments have a very quick recovery time. You don't have to miss out at all on your summer fun. And maybe you're thinking, well, how do I spend money on that and an awesome vacation? You can do both. Brenton Vision has very affordable payment plans. You can absolutely budget for clear vision and a great vacation this summer. Don't just take my word for it. My wife had lens replacement at Brenton Vision and she loves it. Look up Brenton Vision online. Check out the over 1,100 5-star reviews. Call them at 314-375-2020. 314-375-2020 or BrentonVision.com.
When it comes to finding the perfect grill, family-owned and operated Cotton's Ace Hardware has you covered. Get free delivery and free fuel on any grills over $300 and free assembly and haul away of your old grills with the purchase of a new one. With a selection from Weber to Traeger and your local retailer of the Big Green Egg, Cotton's Ace Hardware makes it easier than ever to replace your old grill. Let Cotton's Ace Hardware make your family barbecue more enjoyable with that one-of-a-kind grill you've been looking for. Find your nearest St. Louis area location at cottonsace.hardware.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
There are many ways to listen. Most choose radio. But have you tried streaming? Download the Odyssey app and you can stream 97.1 with one touch. Or try it touchless by telling your smart speaker to play it. You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Oh, but my heart is in Havana. There's something about his manners. Havana, no. He didn't walk up with that, how you doing? When he came in, he said there's a lot of girls I can do it, but I can't wait. I'll do him forever in a minute. That's on my night. And Papa says he got Milo in him. He got me feeling like, ooh.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We're happy that you're here. I'm looking through Truth Social right now. I saw someone said, no, gosh, if you, this is terrible. I'm looking through Donald Trump's Truth Social feed. It looks like it's being run by a 12-year-old girl who, I'm telling you right now, might be the meanest demographic of person on the planet. Am I wrong?
Absolutely.
Ladies?
Oh, man.
You're right. Oh, man, I agree.
Brad, has a 12-year-old girl ever made you cry?
Not made me cry, but she definitely tried.
It's because Brad is a strong man.
Mm-hmm. I wish I was. They still make me cry sometimes.
Me too. They're
Yowza.
awful.
You know, it's really funny when you're raising 3 girls. And my son is 13. My daughter is 10. She'll be 11 in July. And I think she's an early bloomer in all the right ways. She's very mature. You guys all know her.
Mhm.
She's been an adult
the best.
for years. But every once in a while, it will get particularly emotional in the Frey house. And my husband just looks at me like, what did we do? How did we get into this? It's not even started yet. And I just like look at him like, oh, buckle up, buddy.
Mhm.
He's always like, I'm going to go on a 5-year fishing trip. I go, oh, no. Your presence is going to be the most required in this house when all of these children are in high school. It's pretty wild. I'm okay with it, though. Let's do it anyway.
You have to ask me nicely. Don't make me beg here.
Ask me anything.
Tell me the truth.
You're good.
Trisha.
Hey, Trisha doesn't have her headphones again, so
Sorry.
Hannah's got to tell her when.
Let's make what we can screw around with you like we did with Hannah.
Oh,
Yeah. Play the sounder.
Yeah,
Hannah
no
likes
kidding.
to be on the other side of that. All right. 83-year-old Al Pacino announces he's about to be a dad. A
Still got it.
representative for the actor confirmed he's expecting a baby with his 29-year-old girlfriend.
Woo!
Though he's never been married, he does have 3 adult children already, a 33-year-old and 2 twin 22-year-olds.
Who are the most grossed out people about all of this?
Gotta be, right? Because this could be, I mean,
He's got, does
So
he have
he has-
grandchildren?
He has a daughter that's older than his
Yes,
girlfriend.
girlfriend.
Yeah. And this girlfriend,
Okay.
she's listed as a producer on a number of films, but she's also been linked to Mick Jagger and a billionaire named Nicholas Berggruen. So she likes people that are established with money.
I ain't saying she's a gold digger.
But
Money.
Annie,
Need.
are you okay with an 83-year-old expecting father?
It's kind of hard for me to have a say in that. I am not looking for any 83-year-old
Fair.
sugar daddies.
Fair.
Jared might want me to.
Jared's like,
He's like, how much money does he have?
did she say billionaire?
Kind of weirds me out. Not gonna lie about that part, but you do you. Love is
You
love.
do you.
Man,
Love
I don't
is
know.
love. It's
I don't
June.
know how you can be a father, the father that this kid will need if you're 83 now, because when this kid is,
And there's Brad thinking about the practical
leave
side
me
of the
alone. I'm
story.
gonna do this.
No, you're not
I
wrong.
thought the same thing though, too. You're
Like,
83. How much time you got with this kid? Are you doing your future
You know,
family a
I mean,
disservice?
like he's in high school, and it's like, so what? Where's your dad? Oh, he passed away. Oh, how
When I
tragic.
was
Yeah.
2.
What did he
like-
die from? Natural causes.
Okay, not funny. Not funny. Not funny.
Sad. No, you're right about that. I mean, I just hope that the child is taken care of.
Same.
And
Mhm.
happy that she's having the child.
There you go.
So, yay. Congratulations.
Yay! Congratulations, Al Pacino.
And girlfriend.
We're just going to go to the next story. Brad's doing other things.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I don't have headphones, so I don't know. I'm just looking around.
You okay, Annie?
Yeah.
Thanks, Hannah. Congress considers regulating Ticketmaster. Lawmakers have introduced legislation that aims to regulate what they call the badly corrupted live events ticket marketplace. They're calling it the Boston Swift Act, named after Taylor Swift and Bruce Springsteen.
What is the whole can we go back to what Ticketmaster is doing? I mean, I hear and see the stories about them and outrageous ticket prices and everything, but I don't really understand
So
how it works.
It's a good question. I know that they merged with Live Nation, giving them more control, which is part of this story.
Less competition.
And like this act, if it's passed, it would include requirements on ticket sellers, such as mandatory all-in pricing and clear disclosure of refund policies, transparency about total number of tickets, ticket cost, preserving ticket transferability, and protection for fans selling tickets. So I think it is more of a regulation of ticket prices because the platform was allowing people to skyrocket the cost, and this would regulate that, if I'm reading it correctly. I don't know. It's government intervention. Annie, are you okay with the government regulating Ticketmaster?
I don't know. I still don't feel like I know enough about it to be like, yeah, government step in. But I do think that competition is what is supposed to regulate these things. So maybe less regulation, like less like causing
more platforms, maybe.
Yeah, we've heard about the possibility of splitting up Alphabet. Is that what Google's parent company is still called? Or did that Alphabet?
Alphabet
Owns Google, YouTube, and like so many different things.
Big tech.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean,
them.
Google's daddy.
Yeah.
And
so Alphabet's grandpa.
Yeah, I don't know.
Godfather.
But
I
like
don't know.
Meta owns
Al Pacino?
Yeah.
Facebook and Instagram and all of that stuff. If they're all consolidated in one place, it's so much power in
That's
one.
scary.
Yeah. So in that way, I kind of am more of a fan of stop letting all these consolidations happening. But I'm just going to say I don't know enough about this stuff to be like, yay, government, more step. That's never my default.
Fair enough.
There
All right,
we go.
How about vegan ice cream? You guys know a lot about ice cream. Vegan ice cream made
Big
from
fan.
potatoes could be headed to grocery stores soon.
Sounds like a terrible idea.
Made
Right.
from what?
Potatoes.
Oh.
Veg of Lund, the parent company of Doug Drinks, both of which sound super appetizing, have announced a patent approval for an ice cream that is made with potatoes, canola oil, and a vegetable protein emulsion. The patent only covers Sweden right now, but makers say they're hoping for international protection soon. Annie, are you okay with potato-based ice cream?
No, I'm not. No, I would like the dairy in my ice cream. Lots of dairy.
More milk, less potatoes?
Delicious. If there's a reason why you need this accommodation, I am not opposed to somebody making a quality product that satisfies people, but I will continue to go with the dairy. Frozen custard of all things is the best.
I hate vegan products that mimic non-vegan products. Like if you want a burger, then have a burger and stop playing this vegan game, or just go eat your lettuce and leave
Or
us
eat a
alone.
mushroom cap and move on with your life.
Move on with your life.
I wouldn't be opposed to trying this potato ice cream.
Wow.
I'm a big potato fan, potato girl. So I wouldn't be opposed to trying that.
Hannah, if you don't know, this is radio, so you might not understand what Hannah looks like, but I will concur. She is a big potato. Massive potato fan. And
Really into potatoes.
you know. If you don't, you can tune into the YouTube right now, but I think that you will quickly see how big of a potato fan.
Poster
Huge
child for potatoes.
Hannah is.
New Zealand to start weighing passengers before they board a plane.
Great idea.
What?
For the
Talking about
next
big potato
Let's
fans.
go to the potato fan in the corner.
Yeah.
What does Hannah think about this?
for our potato ice cream loving folks out there, New Zealand for the next month, travelers are going to be flying out of New Zealand will have to step on a scale when they go through security.
Holy crap.
It's called a passenger weight survey, and it's something Air New
Oh.
Zealand will be required to undertake by the country's Civil Aviation Authority to ensure weight load and distribution is calculated properly for flights. No individual weight will be
I need a big one back here in 3A. A big one, like the biggest one you got. No, not that one.
Give me a kid to balance it out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Who wants to partake in that survey?
Nobody wants to partake in it, but who wants to partake in a
I don't
plane
even
crash?
want the DMV to have my weight on my license.
That's
I
why
don't
you
want
lie.
this. Yes,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
everybody lies.
Nobody tells the truth about
Let's
that.
talk about Slim 180 here for a second. MySlim180.com. Enter the Annie Frey Show. You might just save some money. My goal weight is my driver's license weight.
Mine too, always has been. Always has been.
It's within reach, folks. Yay, me and Slim 180.
Yay!
We love Slim 180.
If I want to get pulled over, can I be like, that's right, look at the weight.
Uh-huh.
Accurate now.
Yes.
Step out of the car. She's like,
You see the name at the top?
That's
when
a-
you go to Slim 180, you tell them my name and you save.
That's actually a really good goal. Reach your driver's
You don't know what my
license weight.
driver's license says. Yeah.
Well, I usually round.
Here's the thing. If I achieve my goal weight, it will be probably 10 pounds over what I was in high school. 4-sport athlete, very fit. But I've
Wow.
always been I'm like 5'8", strong. Always been athletically built. So this would be 10 pounds over what I weighed in high school. And if I achieve this, my goal, the first goal is to just be considered overweight on the BMI chart.
Isn't
Not
that
not
crazy?
obese
Oh
anymore.
my I think that chart is so outdated.
It's terrorism.
It is
It's
not realistic
even
at all.
accurate. No,
No.
no.
If I were to get to the place where I am a healthy weight, I would have to lose, let me do the math here, about 45 pounds.
Yeah, which is you would be emaciated.
I would not.
That
Oh,
would
yeah.
not. You would not be
I
able
don't-
to stand
I
upright.
do have weight to lose, a little weight to lose. I've had 4 kids. I'm 40. Leave me alone. But I do not have 45 pounds to lose. So I will first become successfully overweight, and second, compliant with the state of Illinois in my driver's license. Those are the goals. Someone is helping me get there.
Are we okay with the airlines in New Zealand weighing their passengers?
Yes, as long as it stays in New Zealand, because I am not going there.
I don't have to see it. Let's
It's
not
not
make
my
it.
problem.
Let's not make it public.
Does not sound American.
Let's balance these planes out so they fly right.
What kind of problems are they having? And the whole flight, they're like, we can't get there.
We got
We're
about
only
5
making right
Americans on
turns.
this side that are just throwing everything.
We're about
off.
10 pounds over. Yeah,
Oh my
I'm just
gosh.
doing circles.
It's terrible. And you,
Okay, speaking of terrible, study 1 in 8 men brings a condom to funerals just in case.
what?
Hold on.
Oh,
It's a study conducted by Trojan, so take it for what it's worth. It found that 1 in 8 men under the age of 35 bring a
This is-
condom to a funeral just in case.
Big condom.
The survey did not reveal how often people actually hook up at funerals. Annie, are you okay with trying to find a romantic partner at a funeral?
Well, I don't know. Let me think about this.
Mostly
In a
family.
different life.
Yeah. What? Ew.
Can we ask Hannah this one?
Sure.
The
Hannah.
non-married, my children are listening right now.
I'm
No.
sorry, your mother's a saint.
I am a saint. I'm good.
No.
Hannah.
Absolutely not. In no way ever. Like grief couldn't even
Not
get you
into
anywhere.
this.
No.
This isn't-
No.
not your thing.
No. Brad brought up a great point. That's mainly family too. So no.
Not
No.
into romantic experiences with your family at
One,
funerals.
let's not talk about the incident. You said 1 in 7 men.
1 in 8, to
That's
be fair.
I hope that's wrong.
I would suggest that it's not specifically for the funeral.
Let me
They're
ask
not
this
like
question.
popping one in there to go to the funeral.
What are we talking about?
Yeah. What?
That, and I wonder how much it went up
Popping
after
where?
Wedding Crashers.
And let me ask you this question. Does that mean 1 in 8 is thoughtful?
Thoughtful for what?
Like,
I think
safety first,
hopeful might be
thoughtful?
the proper description.
I know that there is a definite portion of people who would not care if they were prepared in that way.
Sure, that might be
Mhm,
out
mhm.
on the prowl, for lack of a better word, without
Yeah, that's
being
definitely on the prowl.
prepared.
How do you turn down getting hit on at a funeral, Hannah? What if he walks up to you and is like, got some potato ice cream in the car?
I don't know.
She's speechless. She's like,
I-
fine, let's go. What do you drive?
No, that would not be me.
She doesn't care what you
crying.
drive.
I don't know. I just no.
What if it's just somebody you kind of knew? The funeral, not the potato ice cream guy.
Like a distant person.
I'm not going to give you a name. What if it was Jake Smalls?
No, never under any circumstance would I leave
can't-
the funeral to go do some activity. No. No. Wrong place, wrong time. Yeah, we're done.
What if there was potato ice cream too?
No.
You sure? We can make that the poll
Yes.
tomorrow. Would Hannah?
No. Hannah would not.
Study finds.
Hannah would not. Hannah's a good girl as well. All right. You got any more?
I can if you want me to.
We should not end on that note.
No, we shouldn't.
I got one more. One more then. Reddit user is asking AITA, which stands for Am I the Ass, for bringing his dog to the gym. So this guy's been bringing his dog to the gym. The gym's okay with it. Most of the people there are okay with it, but he got into a pretty heated exchange with another gym member when this dog went sniffing where it wasn't supposed to. Now he's asking, am I the A word for bringing your dog to the gym? What do you guys think? Dogs at gyms, no? Yay or nay?
No, I don't understand people bringing their dogs There are a few places where it's okay to bring your dogs. I think that it's okay to bring your dog to a pet store if they allow the pets in, if that's kind of a thing, to a park. That's an appropriate place to bring your dog to a park. Don't bring your dog, even if it's a little dog. I don't understand bringing it into the grocery store. I don't understand bringing it in everywhere you go. I don't get it. Your dog belongs at home, on a walk, on a leash. Don't bring your dog to the gym. How can you work out and have a dog there? What's even the point?
I'm kind of for the dogs at the gym. I
kind of am too.
My thing is this. Clearly, this guy
Yeah.
did not have control over his dog, because that's why he got in the heated debate.
Did you say you're okay with it though if he has control?
He did for a couple of weeks, and then the dog went sniffing one
I was
time
gonna
and
say,
started a
I
fight.
kind of want to know more details about where the sniffing was taking place.
I can only
don't.
take a guess.
We're gonna loop right back around to that condom story.
That
before
sounds like yesterday, like a risky whiff.
Oh man. Yeah,
I just don't understand why your dog has to go everywhere.
I don't.
I think
I
if
don't see it
it's
either.
the goodest boy and he's just sitting with you,
It's not the goodest boy. He's sniffing people's probably crotches or something.
What if he's not sniffing crotches? What if he's just laying next to you?
He wasn't. He's not the goodest boy. He's an okayest boy. But the owner put him in that position. There are smells to be smelled, and the dog smells because he's a dog, and he shouldn't have been in a position to smell the smells. He should have been at home, laying in the sun on the carpet for Michael's.
So he's not the okayest boy.
He would be the goodest boy if his owner was a good boy, but he wasn't, because he's an a-hole, according to the. Yeah, I'm not okay with it. Okay. No dogs at the gym. Good grief. All right. When we come back, the YouTube live chat poll: who's winning the culture war? The left, the right, nobody, or it doesn't even exist. Hannah's going to give us your feedback and results in just a minute. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
This is history in the making, homie. Point blank, close range, that feed. If it goes a million, that's me. I was getting moolah, baby.
Retirement Advisory Group is online at retirementkey.com. You go to the website and you can learn about them there. Of course, the website's very good and has the information you need. But when you want to set up a conversation to hear more and to make that conversation about you, personalizing it to where you are in your journey towards retirement, I'm talking to you if you're in your mid to late 50s, if you're in your early 60s, and retirement is right around the corner. You want to make sure that it is, in fact, right around the corner. That's why you reach out to the Thomas Helbig, Bob Kershaw Retirement Advisory Group, and you have that free conversation with them. There's no obligation to do anything after it. You just sit and listen, and you talk about where you are and where you want to be. You'll get a copy of their second edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement, and they're going to show you how you can retire with confidence. Doesn't that sound nice? Give them a call at 314-993-9494, 314-993-9494. You can also sign up for an appointment online. Visit them at retirementkey.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
Hey, Father's Day is coming up, and let's face it, Dad can be hard to shop for, but you know what dads really like? Steak. Omaha steaks are amazing, and the experts there have made it very easy to put a smile on Dad's face this Father's Day. Head on over to omahasteaks.com, use the promo code FMTalk at checkout, and get $30 off your qualifying order. You can choose from bacon-wrapped fillets, air-chilled boneless chicken breasts, burgers, jumbo franks, and more. And if Dad has a sweet tooth, I know I do, most gift packages come with 4 delicious caramel apple tartlets. Omaha steaks equal the world's best beef, naturally aged for the ultimate in juiciness and flavor. Think about Dad opening up a delicious package from Omaha Steaks on Father's Day. Every steak and every entree is flash frozen, vacuum sealed, and ready for Dad to love whenever he's hungry. And let's face it, he'll probably share. It's all backed by an unconditional 100% money-back guarantee. Place your order today at omahasteaks.com. Use that promo code FMTalk at checkout to get $30 off your order. 5 generations of family-owned expertise means uncompromising quality you can trust. Minimum order required. Head to omahasteaks.com today.
101 for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness 101. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
Mark Reardon sees clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Maholtred Ophthalmology Associates. You can too. Go to youridoc.com today. That's youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000. Ophthalmology Associates.
We've talked a lot throughout the show about different things. At 12:25, we talked to Hans about the Trump documents and all the things that are going on with that. I took over Wiggins America at 12:45. At 1:25, Annie read information from Chick-fil-A's website over the DEI stuff. And we've just had a whole bunch of things we've talked about today. I think it's been a great show. You can rewind to all of those segments by downloading the Odyssey app. The current time is 2:49. This update is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Congressman Ann Wagner.
Biggest killer, 19 to 45-year-old, is fentanyl in the U.S. So yes, we have a lot of things that are on fire under Joe Biden's failed policies.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
St. Louis is home for conservative talk.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag drifting through the wind, wanting to start again? Do you ever feel so paper thin, like a house of cards, one blow from caving in? Do you ever feel already buried deep, 6 feet under screens, but no one seems to hear a thing? Do you know that there's still a chance for you, 'cause there's a spark in you, you just gotta ignite?
We also need to reinvigorate the ability of our country to have institutions grounded in truth and facts, not going on ideological joyrides like so many of them are. You should not have to compete in the woke Olympics just to qualify for employment or to get into a college. Merit must trump identity politics.
Ron DeSantis talking about the woke Olympics. You've sure heard him say that phrase quite a bit. Florida, where woke goes to die. And that really leads us into today's poll question.
The results are. Anna, do you have anything to say for yourself?
Today's YouTube poll is asking, who is winning the culture war? The left, the right, nobody, or it doesn't even exist? I will read some of your comments, the listeners. Larry from YouTube said that he voted nobody. The left is trying to normalize this new culture, and the right keeps fighting back. So he believes that nobody is winning the culture war. Amanda says, anyone that says that the culture war doesn't exist just isn't paying attention. JR says the left is winning because we allow it. Vote. I really liked that comment. Thank you, JR. Chris F says, I chose the left, but really everybody is losing. Dirk says, I voted that nobody's winning, but I do see a sleeping giant is starting to wake. Janine says, I voted nobody. No one is a winner when you declare there is no truth and encourage a free-for-all mentality. Everyone loses.
What do you think, Brad? What was your vote on this? Who is winning the culture war? Left, right, nobody, or it doesn't exist?
So mine is nobody yet because we're still just really getting into a culture war. So what I said earlier is that I think that the right on this has just started to fight and just started to push back. So nobody's really got the upper hand. I don't know what the outcome is going to be whenever people start pushing back. What's the pushback? How is the culture going to react to it? Will we split? Will we win one side? Will one other side win? Or does nobody win and everybody loses?
What do you think, Hannah? Do you have a thought on this?
Yeah, I don't think anybody's winning this culture war. I think the left is really, really, really pushing to win. And I think the right kind of is just kind of backed up a little bit. I don't think they want to win as much as the left does, but I think overall our entire country loses with this culture war, woke mentality battle that is just infiltrating into everything, everywhere. I say nobody wins.
Inescapable for sure. I'm going to say, because of the influence of what you folks have said here, Brad, Hannah, and some people who have commented on here, I agree with that nobody's winning right now. But I'll say it with this caveat that no war was ever started without somebody saying, we've had enough. This has to end. This has to stop. And every war that exists has one side that eventually is in that war, one side that has had such an accepted way of life and imposition that exists on other people to push another side into finally saying, enough, had enough. I'm willing to fight over this. And to Brad's point, the right has stepped up here and said, enough, absolutely enough. So I would say the answer to this poll for me is nobody. But if it wasn't who is winning the culture war, if it was who's winning the current battle, it's the right.
Mm-hmm.
The right is winning the current battle so well when it comes to several of these big corporate protests that have taken place, or boycotts, or whatever you want to call them. They're winning it so well that I'm not sure they really know what to do with the impact that they're seeing that they have. So the question is, can they translate this into winning the war? And it goes back to what we talked about earlier in the show. You need to know what winning looks like. Because, Brad, when you and I were discussing, there's a statement and a commitment from these big corporations to say, we did that wrong. And from now on, we're just going to do what we do. We're going to stop trying to explain to you how you need to live your life. We understand that people are different. We understand people have different walks of life. And in trying to support this one side, we have offended so many other people. We're going to get away from this. We're just going to start selling you beer. And this is the beer we want to sell you. And then some people are going to come back and some people never are. But everybody's going to have to kind of determine that for themselves. What does it look like to win the culture war? I'm not 100% sure conservatives even know what that looks like right now. But if anybody has an idea, in my opinion, it's Ron DeSantis.
Yeah.
Because he's winning it in Florida.
Yeah.
I wish I had more time to read everyone's comments. Thank you all for commenting. I'll read just a couple more. Wavy says, liberals are definitely winning the culture war, but conservatives seem to finally be showing some signs of pushback. Bill Asher says the left is winning because they are the most vocal and the loudest. The media helps to amplify their outrageousness, so it appears that everyone feels the same. Once again, thank you everyone for commenting. I wish I had more time. But here are the final results to the question, who is winning the culture war? The left, the right, nobody, or it doesn't exist. 189 of you voted, and 46% of you said that the left is winning the culture war. 35% of the people said that nobody is winning the culture war. 14% say the right, and 5% say that the culture war just doesn't exist.
I'd say that the definitive agreement that we can come to from there is that it does exist. That everybody understands it is a thing, it is an entity, and if it matters to you, you're going to have to show up and be a part in it. And I would encourage you to look for a kind way to be a positive impact on it, because it's pretty nasty out there for sure. We appreciate you being with us. Subscribe to us on the YouTube channel. And if you missed anything on the show that you want to check out on the Odyssey app, you follow 97.1 FM Talk. Hit the rewind button. You can go all the way 24 hours back, or you can keep it right here. Mark Reardon, up next.
Did you know the IRS is a super creditor? Hi, I'm Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. The IRS is the only creditor that can create a bill for you without your permission, then drop the hammer and